Welcome to episode 120 of the Thunder Underground podcast. My name is Trent. I'm here with Jason, and we've got some Devil You Adore / Claim Your Enemy action.
Yes, we do. This is a good one. It's a long one, so gear up.
Right?
8675309. Once that song comes on, then I have to turn it up every time. It's just great.
You gotta put that in your intro for your podcast.
We're going to cut that part out, totally.
If you're not familiar, I say the two names because the Devil You Adore has been around quite a while, or a couple years, but they're in the transition process of changing their name. They have a new vocalist, actually a newer bassist as well, so they're kind of going through this transition period. We're going to talk about all that with them here in just a bit.
Yes.
Before we get into that, we got a couple other things we want to talk about.
Okay.
First being, I really thought that we would have Matt Pinfield for our 120th episode, but kind of fell through. Sorry, I didn't pull that off for us.
We relive our 90s.
Yeah.
Our 90s years, huh?
Yeah. But since we couldn't do that for 120, I guess we'll never do it.
Well, I can live with that.
Yeah.
It's going to be tough, but I'll find a way.
Yeah. You'll survive, right? First thing being, this past weekend, we saw The Shame.
Yes, we did.
At the Mercury Lounge. And this is quite a good thing because I had not seen The Shame at this point. I'm doing good these past few weeks of seeing the bands around here that have been eluding me.
Yeah, you're knocking them down, man.
Got another one coming up this weekend we'll talk about here in a minute. But finally saw The Shame. Chad Malone was on this podcast on episode 58.
Yes.
We had a great long talk with him about this band and all the other projects he's been a part of. But The Shame is just, your, what do you want to call it, working class punk?
Yeah.
That blue collar kind of punk. We always herald the Street Dogs. I know they're kind of mainstream and a lot of punk fans don't like mainstream bands, but hey, I love the Street Dogs and I'm going to own it and I don't give a shit.
There you go.
But anyway, it's along that line of thinking, I guess, is the right way to put it. And they were just as great live as I hoped they'd be.
Yeah, I really like what you said, working class punk, and it really is, and it's as good as it gets for that genre, which I'm the same way. I love it, and it means just as much to me as metal does and old country. And I was really glad to finally get to see these guys and to see Chad Malone play. Senior Fellows still eludes me.
Right.
That's one of those bands, it seems like every damn time they're playing, something's up, or I've got to work at 4 the next morning or some stupid shit. So I was finally glad to see The Shame, and they were great. I mean, just, no frills, honest punk music. You gotta love it.
Yeah, the kind of punk that makes you feel good.
Yes, it's catchy, it's edgy, it's, it's saying something. It's just good stuff.
Yeah, and the good thing is they pulled it off great live. They had a great solid sound, and I haven't seen a show at the Mercury since I don't know when.
Yeah, I mean,
it's been a few years.
Yeah,
and it sounded great. It's a small space, but I'm just, like I said, happy. Finally got to see them.
Definitely.
Another thing to point out while I was there, turned around and ran into Dave Cantrell.
Nice.
Who was on this podcast way back.
Yeah.
Episode 33 to be exact. And during that episode, one of the things he talked about was the old Capitol Underground documentary that he's a part of putting together. Actually, he introduced me to Brian Crane, who was there with him. Or I don't know if he was with him, but he was there next to him. And he said that they're finally getting close, to getting this thing finalized. They're in the final stages now, working this thing out. So this thing, should be out sooner than later, sometime this year.
Yeah, I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, so just be on the lookout for that. It's a documentary that covers the punk scene in Tulsa, starting in the late 70s, clear into the early 90s, and it touches on, thrash metal and everything, throughout that, basically 15, 18-year period I think they cover. So that was really cool, to hear that's
definitely
that's coming up. And Chad Malone obviously will be a big part of that, I believe.
Oh, yeah.
2 Tulsa legends in one place that night.
Yeah.
If Steve Ray had been in that building, my 16-year-old self's head would have exploded.
That's right. That's awesome.
Yeah. Well, speaking of punk rock, this weekend, Tulsa what's it, the punk rock flea market here in
Yes.
Tulsa is making its return. I think it usually happens about twice a year. We went out to that last time they did it. It's a cool atmosphere.
It's great.
This year, or this time, it's actually at the American Legion.
Mhm.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Instead of the First Shop like it was last time. And they're still going to have, live music and food and vendors and all that stuff. So I think we're going to try to get out there at some point, hopefully.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's you got to go. It's got booths of every, anything you can think about. Vinyl, people making their own clothes, people making their own jewelry and jewelry boxes. They had a dunk tank last year. The Satanists showed up. That was always awesome.
Oh, that's right.
I mean, it's just all over the place, which it should be. And it's such a fun atmosphere. And, get there, grab a Rolling Rock, and just walk around and check everything out. It's really cool.
Yeah, and speaking of that dunk tank, Chad Malone was in that
Yes.
last time.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Well, as far as shows this weekend, we've talked about it, but reiterating one more time
Yes.
that this Friday night, April 28th, DMG Productions is putting on this pre-rock party where they've got 4 of the bands that are playing Rocklahoma, 3 of them on the Dark Side stage and 1 of them on Camp Yeager, being Switchbach, and the 3 from their stage is Caliber Theory, Crane Technique, and
Red Devil Eyes.
yeah, Red Devil Eyes,
Yeah.
who was, I believe, at least one of the last couple shows with their vocalist.
Okay.
I don't know if the band's going to continue. They haven't really said anything, but
Okay.
we'll find out soon enough.
Well, it's going to be a crazy Friday night.
Yeah, you can't say enough if you like heavy music about those 4 bands.
Definitely.
They all bring the heavy and they're all great. So there's no reason for you to not be at the Shrine in Tulsa if you're in this area.
And, what I'm looking forward to is, Crane Technique I've seen a ton of times, but the other bands I've never seen before.
Okay.
So it's going to be something different. It's going to be something cool. I can't wait.
Yeah, I saw Switchback in Fort Smith.
Okay.
But yeah, I haven't seen Caliber Theory, Red Devil Eyes, so really looking forward to that. And then Saturday night, I mentioned Steve Ray a minute ago.
That's right.
Oklahoma is playing at Bill and Renee's. This show also features Machine in the Mountain and Custom Black.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a triple header of doom.
That's right.
Of what did Steve Ray call it? Rifflahoma.
Yes. That's going to be Rifflahoma for fucking sure, man.
Yeah. If you like riffs, if you like grooves, if you like, just down and dirty rock and roll, those 3 bands will bring it.
That's right. And is this your first time to see Oklahoma Braze?
Yes. We've talked about this
That's
quite
right.
a few times.
You son of a bitch.
I just
You're
still
going
have
to love
this.
it. You're going to love it.
I still have this weird feeling something's gonna happen. Like I'm gonna break my ankle and can't like that evening. I have to go to the emergency room.
Say that. Don't say that. We're going to go. It's going to be great.
All right.
Okay. There you go.
Yeah.
No negativity here.
Well, yeah. Let's hope it works out.
It will.
And guess what? That show's free. Pretty much any show at Bill and Renee's, I believe, is always free.
Yeah. So go. You better go.
Yeah. Get out there. And speaking of that bar, the next Saturday, May 6th, at Bill and Renee's, Reliance Code, Grind, Not in Public, and Machine and Mountain once again.
Wow.
So that's another great bill.
I know. Man, they just keep piling it on.
Yeah. There's good music around here you got to check out. Don't miss it.
Go.
All right, just getting into this because we need to quit rambling, I guess. Or you need to quit rambling.
Oh, well,
Oh, no,
thanks.
that's me, I think.
Yeah, I think that's you.
Right. Because this talk with Travis and Devin is pretty damn long.
It is.
So we need to get into this. But before we do, we're going to play one of their tracks.
Yes.
They just put out 2 new songs on Reverb Nation. You can download them for free. This song right here is called The Colon.
But I see it coming.
Calling from Claim Your Enemy. The first 2 songs that they put out that they recorded here with Devon on vocals. Man, that thing just kicks right in with some deep, heavy bass and drums, and of course, like in true, Devil You Adore fashion, some killer riffs and guitars from Brian and Rhett. And then Devon's vocals, man, they just tie this thing all together, and he's bringing everything, the clean, the heavy, the screams. He does it all. Dude
can sing.
Yeah.
He can do the whole thing. This song is a face melter. This song is a ball squasher. Okay? And both songs that they put up are great. This one just jumped right out at me. I was like, okay, we got to do this one. And this one just, no holds barred, pulls no punches. It's great.
Be on the lookout for more music from these guys. But in the meantime, like I said, Reverb Nation, look up Claim Your Enemy, follow them, and then you can download those 2 tracks for free. They've got a few other tracks from their, previous lineup that are great as well. Mm-hmm. So check those out. Get on Facebook, follow them, like them, all that great stuff. And we got much more to say other than let's get into this.
Roll it.
Practice with Cody, people that plays for Lions Code.
Oh, yeah.
He wasn't showing up. He got sick. He wasn't going to show up that night. So we just sit around there and we had like 230s of PBR, no ice chests, of course, from the liquor store, hot.
Oh, man.
So we just threw it and took the head off an old bass drum, filled it full, poured all the ice in on top of it. And it was a great ice chest, man.
That sounds like something you can market.
Presidents of the United States of America. Tell them that story.
I don't remember that.
I didn't even go. You went. Okay, I'll tell the story. Him and a couple of other friends. You remember Presidents of the United States of America, Womp and all that? Mm-hmm. They played at Cane's, and this guy went, and the drummer had, his tom set up, but he had one tom turned upside down with ice and beer in it.
Oh, nice.
Oh, okay.
He used a little kit, so all his sim was like 12s.
Yeah.
Little bitty. And it gave him a cool sound,
Mm-hmm. And that's a great idea for all you drummers out there.
Yeah, they've got those Marshall, or is it Marshall that has the
refrigerators? Yeah.
So why not? Yeah, drum ice chest.
One of the guys' houses I spray, he's got like a room that it's like yours, got stuff hanging everywhere, memorabilia, and he's got one of them Motley Crue Marshall fridges.
Yeah.
It's got the lock on it and stuff.
That's awesome.
It was like number 90 or like 5,000.
How much do those things cost?
Boy, I don't know.
If it's got a Motley Crue's name on it, it's probably twice as much
as
the regular.
It's
The regular
got
ones were
Marshall.
$500.
Yeah,
I looked up
Marshall,
once. The Marshalls was $500.
That's a lot for keep stuff cold.
Yeah, true. But hey, it looks cool.
Yeah, that's
right.
That's all that matters.
You're paying to raise your cool factor.
That's
what
what
you're
we're
doing.
Etched autographs. You can't beat that, man. An etched autograph. You think about it. I don't know if they sit there and signed every one of it as made as a plate, but I felt but it was etched.
I feel like you can get an etched autograph and not spend that much money though. If that's like the thing that's selling you on it.
Well, I just think it's really cool.
I'm with you. I'm just saying.
Well, and then
it's mass produced.
Yeah.
Shouldn't.
It'd be hard to replicate.
You can get your Motley Crue refrigerator and your Kiss coffin when you die.
What was the deal? The Kiss coffin does something before.
Oh, I don't know.
It plays plays like Detroit Rock City over and over and over for years, doesn't it?
Because I thought you could do something.
That would drive me crazy.
Yeah.
Is that a real thing?
You come back from the dead. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. But no, I thought it was meant to be used as something before you die.
Oh, I have no idea.
It's probably nice.
They put Dimebag Darrell in one.
I'm probably going to make a lot of people mad by saying this, but I'm cool and would love to have a Kiss coffin as long as it ain't got Tommy Thayer on it. You know what I mean? I'm good.
That's a good question, because they're so anti Peter and Ace now. I wonder if they changed the coffin around.
I don't know.
It's probably got the drawings of the four faces, not
maybe
an actual picture.
Yeah, my brother, he brought me like a die-cast big truck trailer. It's all kissed out and stuff. And, but it's got Tommy Thayer. I mean, I love it. It was a gift from my brother, you know what I mean? But I was like, damn, it's got Tommy Thayer. And I'm really trying to like the guy. I mean, I go through phases, you know, I'm like, all right, I'm going to try to like Tommy Thayer. But it just never works out. When I read that Ace Frehley book, and he was talking about how he didn't like Tommy Thayer wearing his makeup, I was just like, I don't like Tommy Thayer.
But see, for Tommy Thayer, Eric Singer, you know, if you're told put that makeup on, I'm gonna do it.
Well, sure, I don't blame you.
If somebody walked up and offered you that much money,
well, yeah,
you'd play in your underwear.
But you know, it's like, but it's still as a fan.
Oh yeah, totally.
I mean, it just looks like it just don't look authentic, if that's the word. You know, it seems like pretend Kiss, because I'm cool with Eric Singer wearing Peter Criss's. You know, they did the Unplugged thing. You know, they jammed beside each other, they're friends. Yeah. And Eric Singer probably actually went and asked him for permission, if you think about it.
So is it just because it's a different guy that you feel that way?
Well, Eric Singer's earned his part. You know what I mean? And Tommy Thayer goes back into Old Kiss back in the day.
So what about a situation like Alice in Chains?
Alice in Chains is cool.
No, but I mean, Lane Staley dies. They get the new guy who sounds...
Yeah, that works. I mean, so it's not. But it's different. It's not like they wear makeup.
Right, but I mean, it's still to me, and the only reason I bring it up is because I kind of have had a similar problem with Alice in Chains. Just because I love Lane Staley and I understand the guy sounds pretty much the same, and I saw him live at Rockfest years ago. And yeah, it was a cool show, but I haven't been able to get into him just because...
Do you like the albums, or have you listened to them?
I've listened to them, but it's just I haven't listened to them nearly as much as, Dirt.
I thought they were pretty cool.
I'm the same way. I mean, I think they're great. He sounds good, but I just can't get into...
Right. I would have rather them... have gotten him and continued on under a different name with different... I mean, I get the whole but I mean, it's Jerry Cantrell. It's not like people aren't going to buy it.
Yeah.
Well, yes, he's got the benefit that most bands don't that replace a dead guy.
Yeah.
Is that Jerry Cantrell is half the voice almost.
Easily. Yeah. And as far as songwriting goes, I mean, pretty much the band in a lot of ways.
Lane would have never been what he was had it not been for Jerry Cantrell. That's just... Everybody knows that.
Yeah. And every band's different when you get on these conversations. I think because there's so many different factors. Every band's a case to case basis with members and this and that. And
the greatest transition I think that ever stayed was Bon Scott to Brian Johnson. I think that's the one in history that is. It seemed right. You know what I mean? Yeah. Maybe it's just because I'm a huge ACDC.
Well, I was going to say, but that's kind of the thing, and that's kind of what he's saying. When you start talking about these things, it's so incredibly subjective. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and try to say all the bands that have changed members. No, I'm not going to do that. But, my opinion of that would not be the same as yours or his. So, everybody's going to say...
Which version of Rat do you take?
How many fingers do I have how many versions are there now?
ACDC had the benefit that they did it so quick that people didn't even realize what was happening probably.
No, probably not. Yeah, probably not.
Was it 9 months or something?
Yeah.
From when he died to when Back in Black came out?
Yeah.
Well, a lot of people now probably listen to it and look it up wait, that is a different guy.
Well, I'm just saying, so that kind of goes back to what I was saying. It is like it happened. You know what I mean?
Seamlessly,
it's just like, boom. Motley Crue did it. And then seeing all the backfire from that, I thought it was Crue. He was just talking about that deal. I love that Crue album. I would have been cool. I would actually love Motley Crue more had that stayed there. I think because New Tattoo was a great album. I think too. I think he took Crue back to their original kind of. It was all raw sounded.
Yeah.
It didn't sound like it was big mass produced. It was just like going in and recording a demo. Randy Costello, on drums. It was a different feel. And had Tommy Lee played on that album, it'd probably been all technoed out, just like before. And I'm just like, that's why that's such a great standout.
You got a great point. And, I'm the same way. I was like, oh, okay, Motley Crue, yeah, that's cool. They got some great songs. And then when Corabi came in, I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
This is my Motley Crue. I mean, with just the whole... And then it just, everyone hated it. So...
And y'all went to the show at Mohawk Park.
Mm-hmm.
I was there. I got a ticket for $10. It was buy one, get one free at Starship.
That'll never happen again.
No, basically $5.
Yeah.
But that was such a
$5
great show.
for free. $5 for free.
But man, that was Typo Negative on the Bloody Kisses tour. Like that was great. King's X. Yeah, Dogman tour.
Yeah, that was a great bill.
half of it going on right here.
Oh.
That tour.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that was a great bill, man.
That was actually, I remember the day everybody talking about, that was the hype when I think Pantera was Far Beyond Driven come out, and it was number one at that time.
Mm-hmm.
It was the first album to be debuted. First metal album to be debuted at number one. I remember talking to a bunch of people about that, and it had just happened. So, as back then, it wasn't like picking up your phone and you don't know what's going on. It was like word of mouth and people reading their magazines.
Oh, you get blasted with it now.
Yeah, I still love magazines.
If you like, because I did that. Because other bands I've been in get a lot of their music information from Blabbermouth. Because it's easy. You just like them on Facebook, and every time something happens, it blows, pops up. That's pretty much the only, unless somebody tells me something, and then I Google it, that's where I get most of my information from at all. It's Blabbermouth.
Yeah.
But growing up, what was y'all's favorite magazine? Was it Rip, Metal Edge? I mean, we bought them all. I know
Circus Hit Parader.
Circus Hit Parader.
I wrote a fine line between Metal Edge and Rip.
I loved Metal Edge.
Because Metal Edge had more of the hair bands that I loved. Yeah. Even though it was corny and I think it was geared more towards females. I mean, I couldn't pick up Rip and find out what Warrant was doing.
Yeah.
So exactly. I still loved Metal Edge. So that was probably my number one.
I had a subscription to Circus.
Yeah, that was a great magazine.
I didn't like Circus. I mean, it was okay, but
I didn't really
better,
care because it was music and it was the genres that I liked.
Yeah.
So I bought them all. I had to mow a lot of yards and wash a lot of dishes.
Oh, yeah, no, I bought every goddamn one of them.
I know you did.
But just saying my favorite one,
I kind of go back and I'm like, man, I love Metal Edge, but then you say, like Rip Magazine, I'm like, damn, them were good too, really,
I remember going to Starship.
Who was the editor of every one of them because of Axl Rose.
Yeah.
From getting the ring.
Yeah,
he never called out Lon Friend or Jerry Miller, though.
No.
But, I remember going to Starship and, they'd have the British magazines like Kerrang and stuff.
See, I didn't ever do the Kerrang.
You always heard of that. Oh, it's so cool. But then they're like $12 and all I do is sack groceries. I can't fucking buy this.
Well, I grew up, I don't know, the closest thing to us was a cemetery. I grew up in San Luis, Oklahoma, which is just like a suburb of Kenna. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And Kenna's not nothing, but it's, I got to Fort Smith like once every year or two. You know what I mean? So I couldn't, everything I get I had a friend that he was always coming to Tulsa and stay with his dad, and he'd go back down, his mom back and forth. He'd always come back with these tons of cassettes of bands that I'd never even heard of, and then I would trading out of them, or he'd just give me a bunch of them, or make recordings, and so that's how I got all my music, that basically I had a bunch of recorded cassettes, but it was the Anthraxes, because the only thing we got down there was barely got a radio station, and it was, if you used to hear Europe Carry on there, it was like a privilege, The rest of it was.
I'm obviously the youngest person at this table because I was trying to think. I was like, what did I do? And we used to have, because my dad liked to listen to 106.9, and I hated it with every fiber of my being, but that was all I knew. But we had a AOL dial-up internet. I was growing up in Tulsa, and I would just go through all the tones just so that I could hop on there, and because MTV was cool. I remember whenever I was a kid, they'd have those all-day music videos. And I would just sit there and watch MTV and watch all these music videos. Ooh, I like this band. I'd write them down. And then I'd hop on the dial-up and go plunking around looking for... That's how I found, all your Chevelles and all that.
Yeah.
My,
the GeoCities fan page for that band.
Do what?
Remember those fan pages people would make that were like real corny looking?
Oh, yeah.
Like in the early 2000s?
Oh, yeah. You did every one of them.
Like...
It's almost like a band made it if they had a Wikipedia page.
Yeah.
A band is big if somebody made a wiki page about it.
Yeah.
My oldest brother, he'd gotten the satellite, the big old bird bath ones that had the scrambler on it and stuff.
Yeah.
So, every Saturday night, man, I had to go to my brother's and watch Big Baker's Ball.
Mm-hmm.
I remember watching it when it first came up.
Yeah. Well, we never we had the big satellite, but for some reason we could never get MTV.
It didn't have the scrambler.
I guess, yeah. And we got the, I was telling him.
Fuse.
Fuse. Oh. It was Much Music.
Fuse, yeah.
From Canada. And they had the Power Hour.
Well, Fuse had like the daily download, and they had all sorts of stuff on there.
And
it was awesome.
It was all the metal, and that was my show forever. Even
like I remember back in the '80s, watching like the Twisted Sister Stay Hungry special when they played live. It was a thing on MTV. That was really, really cool. I was a huge Twisted Sister fan.
I just don't understand how all that stuff goes away, really. Because do people just stop caring about that kind of stuff? Is that really what happens? Does it go from being huge, insanely popular and everybody loves it to just one day everybody stops? I mean...
That's like MTV or like...
any of it. Because Fuse did the same thing.
Yeah.
I mean, Fuse used to have a lot of really awesome... They had, what was that, Uranium?
Mm-hmm.
They had Uranium, and they had the daily download and all that stuff. You go to Fuse now, and it's nothing like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's almost... I'm not going to say, because I could be wrong, but it's almost like reality shows.
Yes, I remember her. Oh, man, no kidding.
That's what I don't understand, I guess, is how all these things come through, and they're massively popular for years, and then all of a sudden, reality TV shows?
What was that show that Carson Daly hosted?
TRL.
Yeah, TRL. That's what killed it all.
Yeah,
They played videos and they would talk over half of it, and it's like it just kind of turned into like videos didn't matter.
Right.
Well, and of course, World and all that other stuff became.
Yeah.
What's the one that's still on? Or I don't know if it's still on, but they do reruns on Access TV with what's that guy's name? It's not Trump. Obviously it's not Trump. What is that? Eddie Trunk.
Oh, Trunk. Yeah. That metal show.
That metal show, yeah. And that's the only one I've seen recently that I really liked.
Cool show.
And they stopped making that one.
Yeah, it might have been reruns I saw. I don't know.
It's the internet too. I mean, because why wait a week for one show to watch metal videos when I go to YouTube?
Well, that's probably the best answer right there. Yeah,
and watch, whatever, and they know that, so no one's gonna make a show.
Right.
So Eddie Trunk is my second favorite podcast.
I like what you did there, and I saw that. Yeah.
I don't think I've ever listened to his podcast. I've just watched that metal show a lot.
I like it. It's a good at times.
I liked his podcast until he got his daily show on Sirius. And now he just makes all his interviews podcasts, so I heard about
it. Right. Well, I watched it twice, yeah.
Yeah,
but I don't have Sirius no more, so like on my satellite TV, but not much truck.
The only podcast I even watch is the Joe Rogan Experience.
Yeah.
Just because you can find anything. That guy has so many different types of people on there. I mean, you don't like one, just go to the next one. They'll be talking about something completely different.
Yeah.
I mean,
the only one of his I've listened to is the one with James Hetfield, because I'm a gigantic Metallica fan.
The James Hetfield one was cool.
Yeah, it was.
I mean,
it was really good.
You can get into... He has guys that are paleontologists. He's got guys that are historians, and then, I mean, it's just... Yeah. And then, of course, fighters.
Definitely.
Fighters.
Yeah.
I do got to give y'all props on... first off, Gene Simmons deal, man. It's like that dude. That's like we was talking about Kiss a while ago, and I was going to say something about that then. But
was he sitting in this room?
No. Oh no.
You got to go to him.
Yeah, that's what I figured. I was like, wow.
Talking about service.
That was really cool, man.
Yeah, that was. That one came together pretty quick. We didn't really know.
It's like, man, what? Oh, okay,
yeah,
sure.
Yeah.
I understand.
What's it like to be Gene Simmons?
He did that big interview. I really like that with Dan Rather. I don't know if y'all watch it.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
He did one with Gene Simmons, and it was really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
It was really, really cool. It was super, super cool.
Yeah, I was surprised whenever we just reached out to Sunshine.
Yeah.
Because she was promoting the event and said, hey, if you want to give us a plug, basically say, I remember how I worded it.
Yeah.
I just said, hey, if you could put us in contact with them, and she just came back and said she just directly asked their people. They responded quick and said, yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I zoomed in and looked at your little Dilson's media.
Yeah.
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
Hey, that's some more stuff for the wall, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I can't wait to hear it. It'll probably, I think, be more my favorite. My favorite one is the Shooter Jennings one.
Really?
It remains my favorite one.
Same.
You know?
That's one of my top 2 or 3.
Yeah, I haven't heard every one of them, but I've heard a big mass. I mean, I went back and listened to like the Joey Allen and and a lot of them, because my job, I make a lot of long trips a lot of times, so just listening to podcasts.
Yeah.
I like audiobooks, so
I've still never tried that.
Audiobooks?
Yeah.
My mom used to do it because she used to have a long drive from Gore, Oklahoma to Tulsa to work at St. Francis.
Oh, yeah.
And I used to ride with her to, get dropped off with a family member or whatever. She used to listen to tons of audiobooks. I can't do it either, especially not driving. Put me smooth to sleep.
Yeah.
Well, because I always have some dude who talks real monotone and low, and then all of a sudden he gets excited because I guess it's supposed to in the book, and I just,
right.
I never, exclamation point means yell louder. I don't know.
I know there's some where celebrities will do it.
Yeah.
But
well, a lot of them.
Some will do their own, I guess. It's
Stephen King is always the greatest. I can listen to Stephen King all day.
Does he do his own?
A lot of times. He has.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You know how y'all was going back and listening to the whole band's entire catalog deal? Check them things out. Hey, I'm on book 1 still.
Yeah. I was just going to show you.
You got him signed it, didn't you?
Yeah.
She don't even do it to me.
Nice. Yeah. Where'd you get that at?
When he was at the Kings last year.
Mm-hmm.
So have you read Mr. Mercedes?
Yeah. I read, the only thing I ever read is
You
autobiographies.
just got it for his autograph, didn't you?
Yeah.
I'm still in the middle of Mr. Mercedes.
You suck, Trent.
Yeah.
You're not a real reader.
But that's a cool piece, though, man. It really is.
I won't even claim it. I can't read a book to save my life. I just get bored. I've got to get up. I got to go do something.
That's why I like the audiobooks.
If they're biographies of rock dudes, yes,
I can handle that.
But that's what I do.
I can handle that, but I don't know. I've tried. I think the only books I've ever made it all the way through were the first 2 Aragon books, and I tried to read the third one, and I just couldn't. Like, I binged read it. I finished the first 2 in a week or whatever, and I read them every day, and couldn't make it through the third one.
Where the Red Fern Grows, I've read it many times.
And I drink a lot, so that
Surely not.
That hinders the reading.
Yeah,
sometimes the words just get blue. I'm like, okay, I gotta stop.
It's like pass out on.
Yeah, so I try to read in the mornings.
Yeah,
I always feel bad though because I feel like reading would expand my horizons by so much. Because you always hear people talk about, well, I've learned about this in this book or whatever, but I never have been able to do it.
But you know how y'all was listening to all the bands in one entire deal.
Yeah, definitely.
Man, y'all gotta be wore out because I thought I'm gonna try that just because I'm a huge Exodus fan, so I thought I'd just go back to the beginning because there's a lot of different deals of Exodus.
Yeah,
and I listened to all of them.
So
man, I was just wore out.
It's when you've got a long drive or you just drive to work, put your headphones in at work or something. It goes by way quicker than you think.
Yeah.
What's the longest discography you guys like? What band?
So far, what's
Megadeth?
Megadeth.
16 albums.
Yeah.
16 albums.
That was quite an undertaking.
I can imagine. Yeah.
And Motley Crue's been.
That's 12 or.
I just finished Motley Crue. He's only listened to one song.
Slacker.
I'm already done.
How else how you made it through Generation Swine?
That was tough, man. I'm going to tell you something.
I like a lot of those songs, man.
Glitter.
No, I hate that song. Glitter and Brandon and Afraid, but I like.
Dude, I was loading the gun, putting it in my head during Glitter.
It's hard for me, man.
But you can tell the ones that Corabi was involved in.
Let Us Pray or whatever.
Yeah. Sure.
You guys are better than me. I just wouldn't do it.
Yeah. But
nope, don't like it.
The Megadeth ones were probably there was so much change. I haven't never done it like that, but you just by history, it's. I imagine it
was something else, but it's Megadeth, and I'm such a huge fan, so it wasn't that big of a deal. You know, I enjoyed it. You know?
Euthanasia is like one of my favorite
Oh
albums.
man, it's such a great record.
Yeah.
I mean,
I love that era, like a lot of people do, but that's that Manza, Friedman, Sting Ellison.
Yeah.
That's Megadeth to me. That's what I like. You know,
Yeah.
that's when I thought they sounded the greatest.
Every band I've ever been in, every single one, except for maybe ours, is like in love with Metallica. Every single band. And because of that, I didn't like dive in. Like I'd heard a lot of Metallica, but I didn't dive in. And so finally, like 2 years ago, I was like, I'm just going to listen to every Metallica album. And I did. And the only one I didn't finish was Saint Anger.
Yeah.
well, yeah, because
But
I love that.
I don't know their name. Well, and there's songs on it I like, but I just didn't finish it. But there's these guys that actually redid the entire album.
yes,
And I finally finished it because I really, really liked the way that they did it.
yeah. That's
that
awesome. You
does
brought
sound
that
good.
up, and I don't know who they are, but I just know if you search hashtag what Saint Anger 2015,
Something like that.
it comes up.
You can
Yeah.
just, in the Yahoo search, or
Yeah.
not Yahoo, YouTube search thing, you just put in
It's
Saint Anger
like
redone. It'll pop up.
The drums sound great. They cut out all the crap because every song's like 48 minutes long, and it's just like all these random. I mean, and I'm glad you brought that up because that's something really cool that everyone should check out.
For sure.
Yeah,
Like I said, that's the only way that I finished that album.
I mean, it just trimmed the fat. I mean, really, basically, that's what they did.
Knock out that 5-gallon bucket.
Well, and it sounded a lot more aggressive to me, for sure. I mean, just the way that he approached it, especially vocally, because of course that's what I'm going to listen to first. I just really liked the way that he did it.
Yeah.
It just, that snare sounds just like a 5-gallon bucket.
Yeah.
I mean, when I started off playing, I had to make my own drums. I grew up poor, like I said, in Kentucky, there wasn't nothing. So had Mama get these old, like, metal coffee cans. Remember, they used to come in metal? They would be small.
Yeah.
You have a medium size, and you'd have a bigger. So I taped them all together. Like, I got the idea from Joey Kramer, Aerosmith. Back in, pump days and stuff like that, he used the little tri-toms, and then
Little
just taped
rototom
them,
deals.
And I took it, man. Use a 5-gallon bucket as a snare, so I know the sound of a 5-gallon bucket, and I would mom's pots pans. That's how I learned.
Are you trying to tell me that you thought that that's what he was playing on when you were listening?
Well, no, I'm just saying that's what it sounds like.
I'm just giving you grief. I mean,
sounds like a 5-gallon bucket.
but and like I've said before, is what you have to think of too is everyone focused so much on his snare sound. The whole thing sounds like shit.
Yeah,
the guitars are terrible.
Yeah.
James is trying to do all these grunts and yells that just don't sound. They sound so fake and stuff. It's just like
I think it was just a hard error for the band. They kind of released that some kind of monster just to say, hey. This is why we fucked up.
And that's why when you see that, I kind of go, okay, it still sucks, but okay, whatever.
right.
But
it's not an excuse, but
Yeah, exactly.
you guys are Metallica. Figure it out.
Yeah,
the DVD more.
Mm-hmm.
The DVD was cool.
Oh, they came with it?
Yeah, because it doesn't have his shitty fucking drum sound on it. They're just,
Robert playing,
That's what someone, or Justin was talking about that when we talked to him about Metallica.
Yeah, I've always thought that about that.
Yeah, like
DVD.
it's just way better you watch them playing on that DVD.
Yeah,
It's like, these songs aren't that bad.
Yeah.
Well, now I got to go watch it because I listened to it on YouTube, so now I got to go watch the DVD.
I think that DVD is on YouTube.
I'm sure.
They
have Strapping Young Lads full DVD on there. Surely they've got Metallica.
Strapping Young Lad. Now that's a band.
Yeah.
I love that band.
I had to throw them in because I've been listening to them a lot for like the past month.
We saw them Ozfest in 2006.
Yeah.
Devin Townsend, just his voice.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes if you don't listen to an entire Strapping Young Lad album, I don't think you really get it.
Yeah.
You don't get how ridiculous that man's range is.
Yeah.
And then you go and you listen to, the Devin Townsend project. You're like, oh my God, what?
Yeah, I've never seen anyone that does that much broad,
Right.
at least in metal.
It's not even just the range. All the different
styles of music.
techniques that he goes through and just maintains.
It's insane.
The guy is ridiculous.
Well, his vocals on the Vi album are insane.
Mm-hmm.
They're amazing.
You ever see that? I'm gonna forget what. It might be. I can't remember, but he did this he played one of the songs from his albums for I don't remember what company it was for, but he did this song called Kingdom, and it's just him with the backtrack playing the guitar and singing, and his voice is just ridiculous because you can hear it fully. There's not a whole bunch of it's just his voice over the top of this track. And Devin Townsend, I mean, he goes from sounding like an operatic, some crazy, ridiculous, high tenor operatic voice to those low growls, and it's just insane.
I've been, believe it or not, it's not crazy, but I've been jamming Joe Bonamassa's new album, Blues of Deception. I think that's such a great album. I just downloaded it, listened to it all. It's great. It just keeps coming back. I heard it like 3 times.
I haven't heard the new one yet.
I haven't really. I really got into that guy.
It's bluesy, and I never really a whole lot, but it's the greatest thing about Spotify is because it allows you to check out a lot of stuff.
I mean, he doesn't suck or anything.
I
have a lot of bands like that. They don't suck. I just don't like them.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm a hard rock drummer, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I listen to more
the
Stevie
music.
Miller Band.
The music you like is far broader and beyond the music I like. I mean, you're very. Props to you. I wish I could be that way, but I just.
These guys are further than me, man.
Well, I'm sure.
I learn stuff every time I sit down and talk to them.
I've already learned a number of things.
Oh.
They paid attention.
That's the only thing.
Here's something you need to listen to Devin Townsend on Jamie Joss's podcast. It's great.
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's been on there like twice, and both of them are.
When he just did Chris Jericho's podcast, that's really good.
I can imagine.
Really good.
You what?
I ain't heard Jericho's.
Oh, it's great.
Oh man!
I mean, he's just a funny dude.
Yeah,
really.
Jericho's he's had Paul Stanley, Gene Simmons. He's had, he's had everybody. He's got a great podcast.
It's like half musicians, half wrestlers.
So are you a Fozzy fan?
Yeah, he is more me, but I really love Fozzy. The
Yeah.
last few years, I've really gotten into him a lot more.
I need to listen to him more because when they first came, because I used to watch WWE all the time, and I was a huge Bill Goldberg fan. He's my favorite of all time. But whenever Fozzy first came out, I was like, man, I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know if I can. And I think it's just because seeing Chris Jericho basically being Chris Jericho while in a band, it just seemed weird to me. But over the years,
it was hard for me to take his band serious when
that's kind of. I think that's what I'm trying to get at.
Because it was like Fozzy, but he was a wrestler, and I just.
And then plus, it was all the first album was all covers.
Yeah, it was kind of a
but
joke
it turned
thing,
out to be
a legit thing.
Legit cool.
Because Rich Ward's one of the most underrated guitarists there is.
Yeah, he is.
At least
that's why I was going to say I'd give them props because I really thought it was just like a little bit of a stunt. We'll get some more people interested. But when I first heard them, I was like, this won't last. But hey, I mean,
it'd be at Rocklahoma this year.
Yeah, I will be there. I will be there
again.
Yeah, hadn't been there once before.
I don't think so.
I don't think
I thought it was
have.
once before. I thought it was a couple of years ago.
No.
I mean, I am more likely to be wrong than they are, but
man, you see so many bands, you kind of forget who you see.
Yeah, I know.
You know, it's especially at Rocklahoma. It's like I say that. For sure. I tell you one band I thought was really cool that watching them at Rocklahoma kind of turned me on to the music more. Was 1,000 Foot Crutch.
Really?
It's not something that I jam to all the time, but man, I thought they did real good. It kind of made me want to.
My mom actually just went to Winter Jam this past weekend, and she was texting me because we went up to Dallas, and so she was texting me and asking how that was going, and she was like, "There's this band on," and the guy started screaming, and all the people around me just started like shying away and covering their faces, and I was like, "Who is it?" It's like 1,000 Foot Crutch. I was like, "Oh, okay."
Are they a Christian band?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Yeah, they are. Well, you'd know if you... Well, I don't know. I say that.
I remember I saw they were on that, and I was like, "Whoa, okay."
They're one of those kind of mainstream crossover like Skillet type things.
Yeah, cool.
where-
I'd compare them to like a Red, because if you know you know Red is a Christian band and listen to their songs, you're like, oh, okay, I can kind of see that. But when I first started listening to them, I didn't know.
Yeah,
and so
they get on secular. It's one of those. Yeah, Red's the same way.
I think Iron Maiden is a Christian band.
Yeah.
Really? Let's hear this.
okay.
This is something I've not heard before.
I just think that not necessarily like per se a Christian band. There's part joke in there too, but a lot of stuff they write is like, straight out of the Bible a lot of times,
No, and I actually, I'm not going to go as far to say as I think they're a Christian band.
Well, that was.
But there's definitely some Christian influence there. I mean, you can't deny that.
Yeah.
Is that Steve Harris? Because he writes most of it, right?
Yeah. Well, like Nico McBrain, he's a confessed Christian. He talks about one of the things that he does to wind down from the show is read his Bible.
Wasn't he gonna
pizza.
Wasn't he gonna do a band with Dan Spitz, who's supposed to be a Christian?
I forgot about that. Was that
supposed to
Nico?
be- I think
Something got announced just a week or two ago. Dan Spitz's new band with someone.
And somebody else, who was that?
Someone else from a famous thrash band, I think.
I don't know.
I ain't heard nothing about it.
Yeah.
Be cool to check it out.
Talk amongst yourselves. I'm gonna Google this
All
shit,
right.
fellas.
Hell yeah. Find it out.
Power of Google.
Yes. Quick to the interwebs.
You don't have to wait for your magazine to come in.
No.
Yeah. Or go to the store for a drive.
Mm-hmm.
Man, they ain't here yet.
Have you heard Red Lamb?
Red Lamb?
Yeah.
Uh-uh.
It's Dan Spitz. It's the only thing I think he's done since he left Anthrax. Is that right? And it was just like 2 or 3 years ago.
He came back to Anthrax for a hair, didn't he?
When was that?
When they did that reunion thing in like the mid 2000s.
Oh, right.
Yeah, that's what
The
they-
first time Joey came back. Yeah.
They should have just kept it there.
Yeah.
I mean, because look at the way Rob, whatever you want to say his last name is, Mr. Volbeat.
Yeah.
But I don't think Dan Spitz wanted to be there. I don't
Yeah,
think.
that's probably what it was.
And he was too busy.
Caggiano's great,
And
but he's
Dan
he's not
Spitz is
that
too busy
style.
beating his wife.
I
So
can't say that word. What'd you say, Caggiano?
Yeah, I think that's how you say
Is
it.
that really how you say it?
Caggiano,
Yeah,
Rob
Caggiano.
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 I hear people.
Italiano?
I hear
Very
people say it all
obviously
the time,
Italian.
but,
Yeah.
like, I was like, that dude who's playing Anthrax plays for Volbeat now, Rob.
Well, if he is Italian, you got to say it with an accent. Caggiano. You
Yeah.
have to.
Well, he's
Yeah,
from
he
New
is,
York,
too.
so
Yeah, there you go. Immigration at its finest.
They, I think one of my favorite Anthrax albums is "We Come for You All."
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
How drum work on that album
Yes.
is insane
Yeah,
compared
no
to
kidding.
any other
And,
Anthrax.
yeah, it's like one of those albums no one's ever heard. You know.
Yeah, people are like, "What's that album?" It's
Yeah.
like it's the greatest one.
It's Dan Spitz and Dean Castronova from Journey.
So what's
So-
the thrash guy?
So no,
That's
so
like the total.
so they're gonna both beat their wives, and Dean Castanova's gonna do a lot of
That's what I was
things.
thinking.
And now we can never have those two on our show. But fuck it.
I was just
They're not
thinking.
going to tag him. They're not going to listen.
We should tag him.
Yeah, fuck it. Why not?
Hey, we were talking about you beating your wives, guys.
Well, I was thinking, is he out of rehab?
Free publicity.
There you go.
Last I heard about him was he went to Dean with the
Yeah,
rehab
I'm sure he
after he
is.
beat his wife
Yeah.
and all that. Got kicked out of Journey. I'm glad Journey's got Steve Young back.
Steve
And
Smith.
Steve Smith, yes.
Yep.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say,
Well,
Young plays
Steve
for,
Young. Whoa.
the 49ers. What the hell? Well,
Yeah,
did you see
or,
all that stuff?
Oh, yeah, from Crank Tape.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Crank
That's
Tape,
right.
That guy is super good.
Yeah, he is. He did a post the other day about sorry I've been filling everybody's feeds with bass videos.
I'm
you know.
like, man.
I'm like,
dude.
keep going. I
Yeah.
fucking watch all of them. It's
I don't
badass.
even
the
play
ones where it
bass, and
takes-
I've watched some.
Yeah,
Like my Immortal, that one was so
Yeah.
awesome, dude.
yeah.
That was.
You guys
because
ever
I
love
love
to Winery Dogs?
Oh,
Oh,
God,
it.
yeah.
man.
for sure.
Man, that bass player for Winery Dogs, I was watching one of their live videos from Japan.
Yeah.
I like Ritchie Kotzen. I mean, he sounds a lot like Chris Cornell, but whatever, neither here nor there. But I was watching that, and that bass
No,
player.
if you're talking about Winery Dogs here, you are home.
Yeah.
Oh,
Do
yes.
not worry.
Okay,
I've seen them
good.
live 4 times now.
I've
Yeah,
seen
it's
him at Rock
phenomenal
Home
every time.
once.
Yeah,
I've
that
never
was
seen
first.
them personally, but I've watched most all their live.
Well, Billy
stuff.
Sheehan's probably my favorite
Yeah.
bass player.
He's great, dude.
I mean, just
Well, I heard about him on that metal show. That's
Yeah.
where I heard about him
Yeah.
because they played I don't know what song, but they played on that metal show, and here's this dude, looks like some old school blues player, and he's just all over the
Yeah.
place, man.
he does anything. If you look up one of those Metal Allegiance shows, he's up there playing Slayer songs with dudes.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
really?
that guy will do anything,
Yeah.
and he kills every one of them.
Mm.
It's insane.
I seen him
To
with
be with you, to Slayer.
That's right.
Richie Kotzen. I seen
I'm
him
not
with
surprised.
Poison.
Oh,
On the, Native Tongue tour.
jeez. Wow.
It was at Mohawk, not
Yeah.
Mohawk Park, but
The zoo.
Oklahoma Zoo Empty.
Yeah.
Did you see that one?
No, I had tickets to it, but couldn't go for some reason.
God.
Damn Yankees opened
Yeah,
up.
Damn Yankees and
Son of a
Firehouse.
Bitch,
Yeah.
that would have been awesome.
Man, Damn Yankees up there jamming, and you remember how, I think you can still get them, but they're little glass Dr. Pepper bottles, little 10 ounce.
Mm-hmm.
You can still get them.
Jamming. Boom, boy, one hits him right in the head, man.
Who,
They
Nugent? Tommy Shaw?
Jack Blades
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
up there, and they stopped the show, and Ted Nugent's like, you fuck with one damn Yankee, you fuck with them all, and and everybody just gathers away from this guy, and boom, he's out of there.
Really?
Have you ever taken time and done that? Like gone on YouTube and looked up like all of the situations that the band members had where somebody throws something at them?
Man,
Or...
shit.
I've done it, and it's pretty good.
This brings up a good topic. We were talking about
Collect
this.
the song?
Yeah, exactly. We're talking
You're
about this
probably
at
there.
work. We're talking about this at work. You know, have you ever, what's instances you've seen where shit gets thrown at a show and they stop the show? And my story was Collective Soul. Megadeth.
Oh, no, wasn't throwing.
Megadeth, they weren't throwing stuff.
Were you at the
Jeez.
euthanasia show where people were diving in?
Floating the
Yeah,
stage?
floating
Yeah.
stage.
Yeah,
where everybody jumped in the fucking river and
and
started
they
swimming
stopped.
towards stage, and they made Nick Menza get out there and be like, "All right, guys, everybody be cool. if you guys calm down, we'll come back and we'll do." And so they came back out, and everybody was cool for like 10 seconds. Then they all started jumping back in the water.
But if I remember correctly, they come back out and
That
played
was-
Holy Wars, wasn't it?
I can't remember what the song
I think it's what it was. They were like played Anarchy in the UK.
Yeah, they did
and
play.
everybody's doing that,
Yeah.
and then they stopped the deal, and then when they come back, they played Holy Wars, and that was it.
Yeah, and the security guards at the other edge of the stage, like pushing people back because they were trying to climb on the fucking stage.
Yeah, it went crazy, but I would be like, come on.
Yeah, that was the same show that Fear Factory went on,
Yeah.
and people were moshing, so they got thrown out. So Fear Factory
you
jumped
know-
in the crowd and started beating up the security
Right
guards.
there where he came up there,
Yeah.
that's exactly where I was at.
You ever-
Right there
you ever
where that
hear about
concrete
the,
thing is right there, that
Yeah.
wall?
Yeah.
That little set right there.
You ever hear
That's
about the
what
Death Punch show where the chick was crowd surfing and they had said, no crowd surfing, no moshing, no nothing. So they started to kick her out. Ivan Moody stops the whole show, points at that security guard and says, if you don't fucking bring her back here right now, I'm not playing. And they brought her back, but
Yeah.
they stalled the whole show. I mean,
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, you got to do that.
Yeah.
You really
I
do.
met him in Rocklahoma last year, and he was too stiff.
well,
You know what I mean?
look,
He-
I'm a
he
huge,
I was like, hey man, how you doing?
Oh.
I'm a huge Ivan Moody fan, and I have been since before Five Finger Death Punch. I got into them
little moto grader.
Moto
action.
Grader, and there was one band he was in, and I didn't hear about him before, but it was when I think he was in Colorado. They were called like Crazy Playground or something like that. He had like these yellow, I don't know if it was really dreads or like a wig or whatever, but yeah, Moto Grader. I loved Moto Grader, and I was really, really sad when they broke up. I was like, no, I got one album. I was pissed. And then Five Finger Death Punch came out with their first album, and I was hooked. It kind of, second album was good. I kind of faltered personally. I was like, this isn't as good, but I'm a huge Ivan Moody fan. I mean, Ghost Machine.
Jason loves Five Finger Death Punch with a
Jesus
passion.
Christ. Why do you have to do this? I don't want to be a fucking dickhead. Thanks, man.
I mean, out of you.
No, you can hate on me. That's okay.
No, I'm not going to hate. Here's the thing. I'm not going to hate on anybody what they like. There's some stuff I like and don't like.
I'm not saying it's bad. It's just not
Five
for
Finger
me.
Death Punch is such a commercial metal band. It is, but it is great. I like it. I'm a fan.
But they are now. They are now. I
I always had it.
I don't know, man. Like that first album, I would not consider it commercial metal. Especially,
The last album to me is the best one. Got Your Six. I think that's the coolest album out of them all
I still like Way of
because it's
Fist,
more
man.
kind of old school. It's kind of like, to me, my favorite Avenged Sevenfold is Hell to the King because it's more old school. Even though Nightmare is really freaking close to it,
Well, I've heard this said a lot, and, all kinds of people. And Five Finger Death Punch and Avenged Sevenfold are kind of those gateway bands that get people into metal, and that's good.
Yeah.
That's a good
A
thing.
lot of people can get pumped
And-
up,
and
I can see how on Five Finger Death Punch because, I get to listen to Jeremy Spencer's playing. It's like, it's great. I love his playing. Even though it's a lot of repetitive stuff, that's the same deals, just different, maybe a little bit different guitar rhythm. It's still really cool.
And we had the same bands growing up, where you like a band, so you want what did these guys get into? What made them want to play? Yeah. Oh, this. I'll go listen to this. So then, bam, your whole world's opened up.
I don't know. That did not happen for me. Not really. Kind of, sort of, but I didn't go backwards very much.
Yeah,
I really
listened
didn't.
to Slayer and Merle Haggard. Yes. You know, it was nothing. I even listened to Ed Bruce. Man, I don't know if you know who Ed Bruce is.
I do know who Ed Bruce is. You know, I grew up on old country. That's all that was in my house. Believe me, I know.
Me too, man.
Yeah, can't do country. I just can't.
Oh man, I could do country.
I love the old outlaw country, and I love 80s country.
I get it. I totally understand why people.
I don't like this stuff now.
But
what was the first taste of Texas or something like that? Well, that was an Ed Bruce song.
Yeah, he was the original writer of "Mamas Don't Let Your Babies Grow Up Big Cowboys."
Really?
I think so.
Wow, that's awesome.
I mean, he could have just been covering his version too.
Yeah,
but that was the name of the actual cassette that I had.
Really?
Yeah.
God, we're getting deep now. Watch out.
Not too deep for me. I already told that was like my asterisk statement. I don't like country. That way anything that happens afterwards, I'm just not even
man.
Well, I think the reason I don't like it is because I was surrounded by it.
Yeah.
Everywhere I was, it was country, and honestly, I'm not a real, like, I've lived in Oklahoma, but I'm not a super southern guy. It's just not how I am.
Yeah.
And so a lot of the things that they were singing about and talking about, I just didn't.
I had my sister's record collection, and I had my mama's record collection. And my sister's was all like disco and Fleetwood Mac and, you know, Styx and Steve Miller and just all this Meatloaf, Bat Out of Hell, like greatest albums ever. Mama's was all like, well, old country 45s. You know, they're all 45s. So, man, I just listened.
See, that's the crazy thing is because I didn't.
Stacks of them.
My dad listened to a lot of music, but it was all on the radio. 106.9, he'd throw it on, and that's all it would be. My mom never listened to anything but Christian music, so my jump was completely different.
Are you talking like, how old are you?
24.
Oh, okay.
So I mean,
I was like, you're not talking about 106.9 before they turned to...
No. They used to be okay.
Like rock...
They would have like some pop, some hip hop, and some rock, and that's exactly how I got into rock. Was because I remember listening to 106.9, and I don't remember exactly what song it was, but it was a Stained tune, I'm pretty sure. And I was like, man, I kind of like that. And then they played a hip hop song, and I was like, this kind of sucks. And then they'd play like a Three Doors Down song. That was kind of my enter into your Chevelles, and then I made crazy jumps to Suicide Silence, and but that was my jump. I didn't have any in between. It was
okay. Sorry to totally change the subject. I want to ask you. I don't care much about Suicide Silence, but I know people are going apeshit on this new album.
Fucking beat me to it. I'm gonna go get another beer. Fuck it.
Man, I ain't heard it yet.
I heard the one song.
I've heard some. I don't like it.
Okay.
I didn't even know it existed.
And I feel horrible because I just forgot his name. Their original singer, guy that died in the motorcycle accident.
Mitch Luker.
Mitch Luker.
Something like that, yeah.
From a technique standpoint, because I'm that guy, I love technique. I love listening to somebody's voice. Like, how are they doing that? And reading about it and whatever. That guy was a monster. He just was. Mm-hmm. And that's really what hooked me on that band. Was just listening to, all the different tones he could hit and how full all of them were. And for me to lose him, and I don't know the new guy's name, but I only heard the song that you're talking about. And I personally don't like it.
The Black Crown is my favorite one.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't really. It's not my thing. I don't dig it really. But I'm not going to say that I think it's bad. It's just, and that's a tough thing though for me. When you go from one band that you've heard one way, and then you hear the same band a different way. Yeah. If they would have never been Suicide Silence and they would have just been them from point A on, maybe I would have dug it. Yeah. But because I'm expecting to hear maybe not exactly the same. That's not what I mean. But something kind of similar and I don't get it.
Kind of why we like. It's kind of like why we're changing the name. You know what I mean? It's not. It's not the Devil You Adore. No, it is, but it's not. So it's like, with Diz, obviously a female singer. You know what I mean? Then you put a dude in there, and of course it's not. We kept some of the music because it was really good music, and we trashed a lot of it. But the ones that we did keep, we changed the lyrics on them. Totally. It's not, the only thing we did keep was Temptation and Treason, and we kept that chorus and changed the lyrics. So he changed the lyrics. We just gave him the raw tracks so he can do what you want with them. Because I wouldn't want him singing what a female was singing. You know what I mean? Because I don't really even know much of what she wrote.
You mean content-wise?
Yeah. Just, I mean, it just, you know, it was easier to say, hey, we got this really good music and we just use it. So here, you just write something to it, you know. And so it was. So now we've took the songs and we've changed them. So, you know, and the band's changed. So now we got to just change the name.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and the only reason why we're keeping it the Devil Your Door to the Dark Side stage is because, for one thing, I'm not going to put down like on Chris and say, hey man, we're changing the name. You know what I mean? You're not going to use the Devil Your Door to play, you know. He booked the Devil Your Door on there.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what he's going to get. It just won't have
Plus,
female.
you know, a lot of times people change the name and it takes a while for people to find out.
Yeah.
At least you guys are
Just
pumping this
keep-
through social media, so it gives people at least the time to realize it's going to happen before it happens.
When we had the conversation, you know, and when we talked about that, that's kind of what my stance was. Is, you know, I came in way after the Devil You Adore as a band was brought in, and so, you know, I'll say my opinion or whatever, but I don't feel like, you know, it's my decision to make or anything like that. But that is one thing we talked about was, you know, we want to find a way to do it so that, you know, the guys, when it happens, if we change the name, which we are going to, and when that name changes, that they feel, you know, complete about it. You know, that they have that stamp on it, and that, you know, that part of, you know, because that, I mean, and I'm sure anybody who's been in a band before that's broken up, especially if you've been in multiple, that never goes away. Not really. You know, it's like when I'm talking about King High, I listen to some King High's music today. You know, it never goes away. It's not like it didn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
You're just beginning a new phase. And so, in talking about that, you know, what we talked about was what's the best way to end the phase. And that's kind of what we discussed. Like, let's go slow. Let's make sure that, you know, everybody knows way ahead of time that this is happening, because we don't want that to happen. We don't want anybody to be like, well, where did the Devil
There
go?
was 3 shows booked too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there was the Arlington show,
Shooters.
the one of Shooters on the 21st, and then there's the Dark Side. And these 3 dates is the Patton the Devil tour. The way I look at it.
Yeah.
3 shows, man, of the Patton the Devil.
Well, so how did you guys find him, or did you guys know each other previous to this? Or?
Sort of.
It was like, you know, I put out the deal saying, man, we're looking for a singer. We had quite a few people actually come and check it out, you know, talk about it, and some from some pretty cool bands. You know, I'm not going to say their name, I'm not going to blast them out, you know, and that would have been like, wow, that'd been really cool, but I need 100%. You know what I mean? I can't have no 50%. You in this band. You know what I mean? Not right now. You know, I'd have somebody that's 100% completed. This is the only thing that they care. So, you know, he ended up answering that ad, and it was kind of strange because I mean, I knew who he was, you know, and I went and checked out King High stuff actually because of y'all's podcast when y'all played. I remember there was one that I listened to a long time ago. It was maybe one of the first ones I did listen to. It was
off the first EP they played, Paradise.
Well, I mean, one of their podcasts, one of the when I started getting into realizing, hey, you know, these guys got a podcast, you know, when we were checking it out and stuff. And I remember playing, I thought, man, dude's got a cool voice. And it always stuck with me. I didn't think that Fate was going to come back around, because here I am sitting talking to Thunder Under guys with the former lead singer of King High, talking about switching my name.
The interesting thing about it is I remember, and there was no way that anybody had any ideas that King High was going to break up. And I don't remember who added who on Facebook, but I remember Travesty Davis popping up on my Facebook, and I was like, maybe I met him at a show, I was talking to him, maybe he's a cool guy, and I just forgot his name. And it popped up, he was in W Adore. So I looked them all up. I listened to their music, and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. And then, you know, fast forward a year, and King High had just decided to break up, and it had been like 2 weeks or something. And I wasn't even really looking for a band. I was kind of trying to figure out what am I going to do? You know, I know I want to be in music, but is that what I need to do right now? And thinking about that kind of stuff. And, you know, I'm a Christian man. I was praying about it and really trying to, you know, get some guidance on it. And, man, I popped up my Facebook one day, and there it was. We're looking for a singer. And I was like, man, what could it hurt? You know, I'll just message him, and if, you know, it works out, it works out. If not, that's cool. So I hit him up, and we kind of talked back and forth about how it was weird. Like, weren't you in King High? I was like, yeah, I mean, you know. And then they had me come down on a Sunday and try out. So
yeah, and by the end of the day, we done decided that that he was going to take the gig, and, you know, of course, if he wanted it, and that we was just going to solely part ways right there with Diz, you know, because one of the things that, you know, because it said in the post that, you know, that male female, you know, we had thought about going that route to give her the opportunity, you know, not just, but, you know, when it came in and she didn't show up that day, you know, and send a message, I'm not coming, you know, and it was kind of like the shortest straw, you know, this guy could take care of everything we needed, you know, so we had to come to a point where we was like, we got to get rid of that little sister, you know, type of feeling, you know, of course you want to, you know, you don't want to break her heart, you know, because losing a band is something very hard, you know, and cause I mean, I've been through it, we all been through it, you know, It's just something that's really hard, and we all didn't want to really hurt her, but we knew that we had to move on because we had all this music that had no lyrics to it, and we hadn't had a new song. The last time we had a new song to play live was on the Rocklahoma stage last year.
Wow.
So we've been going, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And we're still doing rehearsals all the time. And, you know, we're going to be older guys. You know, we don't want to have to keep working every Sunday and try to keep doing, you know, and the things in life kind of just started to kind of pull her away, you know, the pressures of life. You know, now I've got an old man. Now I got 2 kids. And now, you know, and I got a band, and I got, you know, and finances, you know, and just, it's kind of, and it plays this, you know, hard part, you know, and then so it started kind of coming to, like, attitudes, bad attitude, you know, and stuff, and that made it even harder, or, you know, because we knew that she needed to push more and try to, if you're going to sing, you know, we're pushing harder. We need you to push with us too. But instead you're trying to, like, not, you know, and it comes to a point where we just, like, you know, we had even talked about just stopping, you know what I mean? Just stopping. And then that lasted for like 10 seconds and was like, nah, fuck it. No, and then go on, you know, and we thought we'd tried, because we had tried the, you know, male-female singer deal back in, you know, with Adam a year or so ago, and all that bullshit went down, and we just knew it was really better for in the long run just to part ways, you know. I mean, we was in, from the time that Tatum left out of the band, and you know, into, you know, now it's made it's a totally different band. I mean, the heavy rhythms, you know, and all that stuff, that the band wise is all still there. I think it's more synced now, you know, because Jade's a totally different player than what, you know, Tatum is, and he's, you know, we got rid of him, and then 2 weeks later we had a show at the Shrine, you know, and throwing him up on there, and he did what we could, and that's when we just kind of backed off and worked on it. And Jade has become now, in just a few months that he's been playing, a great, phenomenal bass player. I'm like, wow, I couldn't, you know, he's took it and realized that he was given that golden opportunity. I ain't saying it's necessarily golden, like, but if you're a person that wants to play, and I think we're a pretty good band to be like, man, they're a pretty kick-ass band to learn how to play with. Yeah, you know, and so he's been doing great. You know, and
especially for somebody in his situation, because I didn't know. They explained to me like how he got into the band and how long he'd been in the band and stuff, and I've been around a lot of bass players, and a lot of them are really good. I mean, Jared from King High is amazing. But, man, just watching him play, it's like, man, you just basically got pulled up during a practice, like, ready to go. And he was like, yeah, man, you got to give him a lot of props.
Yeah, done great.
And I just want to say that at first, I was pretty stoked about the whole dual vocals thing. I've never done that in my life. I was like, what is this going to be like? I'm going to be singing with a chick. That's cool. But, I mean, it worked out how it worked out. But at first, I was like, how's that going to happen?
Well, the way I looked at it, too, it would be just like, if they, that'd be up to them, That's one thing about the devil you adore, claim your enemy, whichever we want to be at the moment.
Both.
Yeah, both. Claim your devil you adore.
No, claim your enemy, / slash.
Yeah.
Devil you adore.
But we're really free about, we're like, man, you play what you want, man, you play what you want, you play what you know what I mean? There's no, hey, you need to play it like this. I mean, we might make suggestions, hey, can you do this at this time? Or, and when he came in, he changed a lot of stuff because of the fact that we wasn't used to playing with a singer who could carry out notes and, play over parts, and because he's a great singer. And I ain't saying Dizzy ain't, but Dizzy was more of a punkier style, more doing that.
It's not better or worse, it's just different.
Yeah, and then it was like, so now we do different, there's different feels and stuff there that's like, it's kind of crazy, man. I'm really proud of what we're doing. I can't wait to I'm ready to get Rocklahoma over with so I can start on another 3 years and change the band name. That's a lot of time, put into one thing,
Yeah. That's always tough. And I was trying to kind of empathize with them because I felt very similar about King High. That band was, 3 years and a whole lot of time and a whole lot of effort, and life just kind of got in the way. I mean, anybody who tries to do music, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Life does not care about what it is you want to do on the side. If you want to have any life of your own, you got to try to find a way to make it work. And, it got in the way of King High, but to put all that time and effort and energy into develop a camaraderie with those guys. We were brothers. We are brothers, but in the band. And then to have that just die one day, just gone. So everything you did, I'm not going to say it doesn't matter, but it kind of feels that way.
Yeah.
And, so trying to come at it from that perspective and empathize with them, because that's exactly what he's talking about.
And we're still friends with Diz. We love her. She's been out to the rehearsal place, and Jason too. It wasn't like luckily it didn't turn out to be one of the bitter things, that sometimes does happen.
Yeah.
I know that from our part and what we've just seen, being back and being in contact with each other still, that me and Jason, he still calls me. I call him. We'll talk on the phone for an hour and a half, just like we did before he was ever in the band. We've known each other since we were 14 years old, and we're still friends, and ain't nothing gonna change that, It was just bad times, that took some parts away, it's like, him, losing his father, at Rocklahoma last year, it was just a lot of things changed, in life, and it just puts a lot of pressures down on people, and it wasn't that, it wasn't like he was necessarily say fired or nothing. It was just like, we're just gonna step away, give you your space, let you go take care of what you need to take care of in life, but we still gotta have that 100% going this way because, I give the band everything I got. You know what I mean? Well, you know how this, you're constantly promoting your stuff, or this, you're always, podcast is just like a band. You keep it together, you got to keep it rolling.
Well, there's a lot more that goes into it than people who have never done it or don't know anything about it to really give credit to, because you can never do enough.
No, it's never enough.
You never do enough. You never promote enough. You never talk to enough people. You're never writing. You're never doing enough. And it's just like pursuing any passion that's like that. You know, people have been talking about it for years. Unfortunately, as much as people love music, the arts has been kind of given a back burner, you know, as far as what people consider to be legitimate life, you know, happenings. And it's tough. And everything that can happen in your life that takes a little bit more time is going to negatively impact the band. Everything. You know, I mean, you can do things to kind of like last second kind of keep that from, you know, pad it a little bit, but you know, Travis puts a lot of time and a lot of effort into it, and I've put in a lot of time and a lot of effort into every band I've been in.
He drives from Independence, Kansas to Stigler, Oklahoma usually Saturday evening, stays the night with me.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Oh, you live in Independence now?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Yeah, I got family out there, and so whenever, actually, I lived in Arkansas. I was working for a fencing company, and the fencing company fell under, so I moved to live with some family in Independence. So I don't know. He keeps bringing that up, but that's really not that bad of a drive to me. I appreciate him saying that, but it really
is kind of a drive, though.
It's about 3 hours, little over 3 hours.
That's awesome.
And if you add it all into one day, that's 3.5 hours, 5-6 hours rehearsal, 3.5. You know, he probably home till 11 o'clock midnight.
I don't know, man. Though when it comes to music, though, I'm kind of a crazy person, and that's what I was telling them. Is like, you know, if I really want to do it, I'm gonna do it. That's just.
I just tell him don't stop doing it because it was at first that was probably my biggest issue. I knew he had the talent. I knew he had the deal. Whatever. I mean, we all did. It's like, you know, that's not what the deal was. Man, that's a long drive, dude. To come down here and practice on Sunday, you gonna be able to keep that devotion up? You know, and of course he, you know, has, and we better keep it up. He done raised us to a different bar level now.
Yeah.
Oh, don't say stuff like that. People are gonna start expecting stuff from me.
Yeah, but
it's already said.
Oh no!
You know, our first Texas show was last weekend, and you know it was Arlington out of all the places. You know, if I was ever gonna play Texas for the first time, I'd want it to be Arlington, Texas. You know, and luckily that was a blessing I was given. You know, and that was like our first performance deal. And, man, it was like so much fun. It's like, bam, set's done. I'm like, what? We should have wrote more songs or something. I want to keep playing, man.
Yeah, that's how it feels, though. You like, put in months of preparation for this 35-minute bit of time that, you know, you get, and if you're like me, I get sucked in to the music and I don't know what's going on. I'm just doing stuff, and for better or for worse. And by the time it's over, it's like, man, that's it? 30 minutes? Like, it's great and it's wonderful, but that's how you get that. You want the next show to hurry up and get here.
You know, we went, you know, luckily I want to give a shout out to Kurt and Jet.
Yeah.
You know, guys from Switchbach, and well, you know, the rest of the guys.
Scroungos and...
You know, Kurt, you know, said they had that gig coming up. It was like, man, y'all want to try to play it, you know? Well, yeah. Hell yeah, you know. I mean, he's the one that got us that gig, you know. And Switchbach is a really great band. I love the guys in the band, and, you know, I love their music too. It's really, you know, so that would have never been possible if it hadn't been for them guys.
Yeah.
And it's man, because it's hard to just call up them gigs like that, you know. I mean, we're from a little small town in Oklahoma, you know. Hell, we've been trying to get in Tulsa for 2 damn years.
Yeah.
You know, and finally got to the Shrine once, you know.
Yeah.
It's a hard scene. I mean, of course, you know, we play Fort Smith quite a bit, you know, and I love playing Fort Smith. Probably will always. I have many, many, many times in my life. But, you know, like back in former bands like Pain Ensemble and stuff, we played Tulsa all the time. You know, like at the Pink Eye. And,
oh, yeah.
Was the other side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
I probably saw you there. I went to the other side all the time.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Well, the only reason that King High got to start playing Tulsa, you know, when we had our stints of shows, was because of, and a quick shout out to them because I love those guys, is Searching for Sanity.
Yeah.
They had the Sanity Fest and they took a chance on it. My first show with them was at Sanity Fest. And that's the main reason that we got to go there, you know, as much as we did. And now that as you guys know, Sandy Fest is no more, and I mean, it just seems like it's so hard to get back in there. I don't know what it takes. I don't know what magic key you got to have, but
man, I think maybe it's just me believing, but there's such a, if you take like, Fort Smith, Tulsa, Oklahoma City, Dallas, Kansas City, kind of a regional deal, man, there's such a great group of bands, and I'm sure there is also in Philadelphia, New York, and all that stuff, but it's like there's eventually got to be an eye pointed that way, and I think the stronger connection to where the bands, I like Dallas bands and stuff, but Tulsa, Fort Smith, Oklahoma City, that group right there, needs to come together and start, kind of moving in circles, let everybody, because there's a lot of good bands, and if that happens, then maybe cause a scene to, open up a lot of doors for, a lot of bands. I mean, like, Baked Vendetta is a great band. Reliance Code, Screaming Red Mutiny. I could sit and tell about Driver bands all the time. Yeah. We could sit here and tell 100 great bands. And to me, no one's better than the other one. It's they're, I just call them as, one big deal. I love all the bands. I support them all.
You guys can disagree with me, but because it's not like I've been around the Tulsa scene forever, because that's not the case. But it almost seems like there's a fear of that, to me, of that camaraderie that builds, and then kind of building a scene. And I don't know where it comes from. I can't point a finger and be like, it's these people, but it just seems like, and this is just from my personal experience, every time you kind of start to get that, there's these other, pre-designed groups that just completely snuff it. At every single opportunity. It blows my mind. I don't understand it. I'm not that way. But, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but it just seems like every time something kind of starts to build a little bit, it just, nope, not happening. And that, I don't know why it's like that, but I think it's completely detrimental to the music scene. In that area he's talking about, there are so many great bands, and it's not like the music scene is suffering, that's not what I'm trying to say, but it could be so much better just by what he's talking about. Get these bands together, build that camaraderie, just start doing that circle and expand, as opposed to building like high school niches.
Yeah.
Keep it rolling.
I don't. The only negativity, since we've been doing this, and since the last year and a half, 2 years, whatever, the only negativity I've seen is the whole Rocklahoma vote for us.
I hate votes,
and that's the first time I've seen any kind of it's the first time I've seen it get tough, and maybe that's because I'm not in a band. I don't know. I'm not in that drama. I'm just observing it. So maybe there's stuff going on I don't know about. There's some stuff I turn away from because I don't want to know about it, or I don't want to hear about it, or I don't want to be involved in it.
Sure. I'm
just here to talk and be a cheerleader and positivity.
The first one that I don't know. I've seen the vote things before, and sometimes I will vote for a band if I see them, and a lot of the reason why sometimes I don't is because I hate them and I don't want to choose between my friends or or whatever. But the first one we was ever involved in, it was like when they were doing the Carnival League thing. They put us on that nomination. Just by people's fans' requests and stuff. I'm cool with that and stuff. And I think we got 300 or 400 votes. I'm proud of that. But of course, Reliance Code smoked our ass. They had like 700, 800, maybe 1,000. I don't even know how far they got there. And which is cool. Because I'm just as proud of them. You know what I mean? It don't. We're both stickler bands. It's not like it drives a wedge because we don't allow it to.
That's right.
And that's just like me saying they smoked our ass. You know what I mean? That'd be, of course, in votes, but it's But, you know, the same time that they, you know, were up there playing, you know, that carnival deal, you know, to say if we had win, we wouldn't have been able to do the Arlington show because it was the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And the Arlington show was a great, great deal. It was, I mean,
yeah,
it was such a rebirth, you know, within just humanity within myself, you know, and the band, you know. We might have got paid for it. I don't know. We just walked away.
Yeah.
We didn't even try to collect our money.
Yeah.
You know, it because of the fact of we were grateful for the opportunity. You know, and of course we all bought hotel rooms and, you know, we went down as all in a band and on our old ladies and, we stopped at each same places and followed each other and it was just like a band vacation, you know.
I think you make a good point, though, and this about the whole voting thing. And I'm not talking about voting in and of itself. I'm talking about, like, because I pay attention anytime somebody's posting and griping and you see everybody from the scene throwing out their opinions. One of the things that I heard all the time goes exactly with what you're saying, and that's, I hate it because it causes animosity among the bands.
Yeah.
But here's the thing about that. It only causes, it's exactly what you said, it only causes animosity among the bands if the bands allow there to be animosity.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, is whether you think it's a fixed deal or whatever, I mean, regardless of that, the people that put it on, people voted or they did whatever. And then who won, and that's the end of it. And that should be the end of it. There shouldn't be this animosity because some band that you also play with that you might think you're a little better than or whatever beat you out in some votes. That's crazy to me. We're all trying to get to the same place in theory.
Yeah.
So why is that the argument? That, well, it's the animosity that is causing. No, it's not. The argument is whether or not it's being done in a fair way. Let's not make this into something that it isn't. And if it is causing animosity, then you got way bigger problems than just whether you get some votes. That chaps me really bad.
Yeah. I think it just makes people choose, and I don't like to choose.
No, see, I get that part, but I don't see why that would be a long-standing thing. Like, I know that it's just like any of those other things. Like, I don't remember what website it is, but they would always have the battle of the bands. It would be like Disturbed versus Breaking Benjamin. You know?
Yeah, some radio
it's like,
stations,
to me, that's like, oh man, I don't want to make that choice, but that shouldn't cause you to hate anyone.
There used to be one on, was it the Odyssey 104.5?
Mm-hmm.
It was Rock 104.5, wasn't it, years ago?
The Hot News 104.5.
Yeah, the Hot News, yeah.
Before it was The Edge.
Before it was The Edge. Or Z
97.5. One of the two used to have that.
That Z like that.
The Z 104.5.
Yeah.
Smash or Trash.
Yeah,
or whatever the hell it was.
That's exactly what I'm looking for.
Something like that.
It's what it was.
Didn't they get bitched out for that? Isn't that what? Cause I only say that because I listen to the Big Man Morning Show a lot, and I thought I heard him saying something about that, or people were being a bunch of bitches.
I have no idea.
I could be wrong. I don't know. I got a
I
bad
always
memory.
call and say trash, but I never called if I liked it.
I'm sure people do.
I want to hear this shit again.
Yeah.
But if I liked it, I just hoped it
I'm
won.
sure people do.
Well, what do you think the greatest live album of all time is? Pick one greatest live album.
Swallow This Live.
I hate live albums.
I love that one.
You guys probably won't like mine.
That's not my choice.
Just to preface, I'm classically not a fan of live albums. But if I had to pick one, it would be Life of Agony, live at the Lowlands. They did it was a festival. They did in the 90s, and it was it wasn't acoustic, but it was like a not tuned down, low key, clean guitars. Yeah. They did all different arrangements of their songs.
Check it out.
And it was amazing. I mean, that was what a live album should be.
Yeah.
And they kicked it up at the end for River Runs Red. That's my favorite live album. So
mine's Philadelphia.
Not bad.
That's
Not bad.
I mean, I like Walk With Me in Hell, but I love Philadelphia.
I used to have that DVD.
Shelby, you're going to end up on the podcast if you don't quit being so loud.
Mine would have to be If You Want Blood, You Got It.
Oh,
Well, yeah.
Because it is a true live album.
Well, are we counting it like the live acoustic albums the same?
He just did.
I mean, that's why I was asking. Because I always thought
in New York is definitely one of the top.
Yeah, I always thought of them different.
Nirvana.
That's just me.
Nirvana
Nirvana
in New York.
Yeah,
That's right.
Nirvana Unplugged, but
I just remember being called Unplugged. I didn't know.
Always called it Live New York.
Yeah.
I always cringe, like not because it's bad, but the Alice in Chains Unplugged, just looking at Lane while he's up there, just oh man, you can tell he's just
your live album.
The live album I listened to most of my life was a bootleg, but it wasn't truly a bootleg. It was just a CD version I had of the Paris pay-per-view of Guns N' Roses in '92.
Oh yeah,
it was a 3 CD disc. They brought out like Lenny Kravitz.
I remember watching
Steven
that.
Tyler.
Yeah.
It was like a 3-hour-long concert.
There is a Motograder DVD.
There you go. Watch out.
I'm just saying there is. I don't know where you can get it, but it's on YouTube.
It exists. That's awesome.
Do you think that ACDC will survive now, since they pretty much said we're recording a new album with
that
Axl
was
Rose?
That was what I was going to ask
officially
you,
say
since
that?
you're such a big...
Have they said that officially?
Yeah.
Okay.
The band will carry it. They haven't said nothing about bass department yet, but they said that Chris Slade will be the drummer, Axl Rose will be the singer, Steve Young, Angus Young.
Here's the thing is, because they do an album every 7 or 8 years anyways. Yeah. So we're still a ways from that, so they'll be fine. They are. I mean, it's. Right. I'm not. That's the truth, and that's nothing wrong with that. It's just that's what they do. They're
talking about making new music.
Yeah.
Unless they go back to get. I just can't see Axl Rose writing for ACDC.
But
that part, I can see Axl Rose singing all the old tracks. And
what do you think of him in that role, doing those songs? I know you watched it.
I really like the point that he was able to bring back a lot of the old Bon Scott stuff, and like Touch Too Much, never played live, a killer job, and
Riff.
Yeah, but they even had played that with Brian Johnson.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, VH1 special.
Okay.
Well, here's a question then that I was wanting to get to. I thought about earlier today, and you can apply this with any band that we like or whatever. When is it time to just hang it up? And is it different for each band? Should ACDC have just, or should
I think honestly,
should Aerosmith
I think that they should have just I think they should have got Axl. And, of course, I'm cool with that. Finish the tour. You don't want to end a rocker bus tour with a bus.
And they had tons of tickets sold already.
You finish the tour, you do your commitments, and you say sayonara.
Yeah, but I think that depends. Like, why, first of all, why are you hanging it up? And second of all, why would you continue? Because if you care about, because that's the thing for me is...
Rolling Stones should have gave it up.
Right. So, do you just...
I love them, but...
Do you just love it? Are you, even though a lot of people don't think of it that way, just because you're a big famous band doesn't necessarily mean you got a lot of money.
Yeah, but see, I just don't see them trying to get together and make new music with Axl Rose. I mean,
is it just for fans?
See, here's
a hard point of view.
Something you said, I can answer that, which I talked about recently. Is no matter what, it doesn't matter if it's a band I like or don't like, or what's going on, this member, that member. If they can still fill a room, why not?
Right.
Well, sure, go ahead.
I mean, I'm not going to say it's just like any other job, but in that sense, it is. If you work at a railroad, and you bang nails in the railroad, and that's what you do for a living, well, you're not going to retire as long as you're still able to do that and support your family.
It's like Lemmy was 69, Iggy Pop's almost 70. Well, they can still fill pretty. Solid rooms, so sure, keep doing it.
I guess it goes back into the different deal because we're talking about ACDC making the third change. ACDC's one that I think is a fan. I think they should have shut it down.
Yeah,
whatever. I could understand why, but and obviously like Motorhead, and
every band's different.
Yeah, like the W door, we just keep going.
Should have shut that down.
But it's, and I don't know. It just really kind of irks me because I really just don't want Axl Rose writing music for ACDC, and I love Axl Rose. I love ACDC.
That's what I'm saying. Who do you listen to?
I don't understand why that's happening anyway. Because didn't the report come out that Brian Johnson
was fine?
Was fine.
Yeah.
There's something else going on.
Got to be.
The hearing was just a bullshit excuse.
There's got to be something.
We all know that.
Yeah.
As soon as I read it, I was like, Come on.
I don't buy it. I got the Flick of Switch album cover tattooed on my back. I don't.
I think it's he's getting up there and he wants to scale it back, and they didn't, and so.
I think he did seriously have probably the hearing problems, but I think getting with that guy, I think he got it corrected because of the things with technology these days. Could protected himself and continued to do. But
that's what bands do. It's like when Howard Jones left Killswitch, type 2
out,
diabetes or whatever. I mean, it's you got to say something.
Yeah,
I'm not saying that wasn't a factor, but come on.
Yeah, exactly.
Angus sold out. It kills me. It kills me. It's like Metallica should have stopped at the Black Album.
Watch it, pal. Watch it.
Everybody else would say Saint Anger.
I really wish you'd have strong opinions, Travis. If you'd have stronger opinions, man, this would be great.
For sure. But, I know this thing probably went pretty long, so.
That's good.
It's all
cool.
good.
If y'all want to keep it going, I'm cool with that too.
All good.
I don't know how y'all shut us down last time. So.
I don't remember how or why.
We're at an hour and a half now.
Are we really?
Yeah.
Jason said, "Fuck you, I'm out of this fucking trailer."
What? I did not. That hurts, man.
I'm just fucking with you. But
we need another goddamn Iron Maiden night.
Jeez.
Where we go see a band and then we all stay up till 6 in the fucking morning like idiots, drinking and watching the same band we just saw on YouTube all night.
Yeah. Well, I did slip ACDC in there on y'all.
That's right.
Yeah.
And then Kevin kept trying to play Metallica.
Yeah.
I kept turning it back to Maiden, I think.
That's
That
awesome.
was a great Maiden show, though.
That was. Are you going to the one in Oklahoma City?
No, man. I'm going to leave that as it was, man.
I get that.
That was a great Maiden experience, man. I guess when you see Maiden for the first time, just pretty much up against the barricade, you cannot mess that up.
Yeah.
Man, I haven't been to nearly enough concerts in my life.
This is going to be a good one. Iron Maiden and
Ghost. I would like to see Ghost.
they're great, but you don't want to see them open for Maiden. That's going to be dumb.
It
is. It's like we're all here to see Maiden.
Yeah.
I
think it would be cool. I've never seen them. I want to check them out.
Oh, it's an experience.
Yeah, I just like to check them out once. I'm not really a big fan of the music. I just want to really
get ready to hail Satan.
Yeah.
With Emeritus Papas.
Yeah,
or Papas Emeritus.
Yeah,
their members are suing them.
Yeah, they've got all different people now. So
Say what now?
For lost wages.
Yeah.
All the original members are gone except the singer.
Of Ghost?
Yeah, no one knew because
right.
The mask. So, but I guess he screwed them all over, so they're all suing him.
The singer did?
Yeah. So he got a whole new slew of nameless ghouls.
Right.
To play with him. So
And they're like
Nameless Ghouls too.
That's what they're suing under.
Nameless Ghouls?
Yeah.
Now the lawsuit actually lists their names out.
Oh, I just heard something on the radio. I think Lynn Hernandez.
I think they have to list their names legally.
They can't
they can't. They had to.
Well,
exactly.
I realize that is terrible. Lynn Hernandez, you lying.
You could tell,
come on,
I remember seeing YouTube videos and the drummers just back there. And then we saw him at Brady Theater and they got another drummer and he's twirling the sticks and getting all into it. I'm like, okay, they changed some dudes.
It's funny how that works.
The bass player was a girl because she was real tiny and stuff. You could tell.
Oh, you know what?
Yeah.
I did see a video not long ago because I'll go look up live videos all the time. I did see a video. I was like, man, I don't remember that guy being that small.
That Nameless Ghoul's kind of hot.
Well, my first thought was that dude's shooting up a lot.
Yeah, it's like she could leave the mask on.
Yeah, he took the rock lifestyle a little farther.
Well, there was a rumor that it was Sean from White Zombie.
That's right, yeah.
First happened.
Yeah.
And then they found out it was some girl from Iron Maidens or something.
Yeah, I thought it was a Led Zeppelin, all-female Led Zeppelin.
Oh, okay, it was a cover band or something.
Yeah.
Like ACDC.
Can you imagine getting that gig?
ACDC.
Hey, Ghost? We want you to come play for Ghost.
Yeah.
Be a nameless ghoul. Nobody there know who you are.
Yeah.
That's right.
Just
But you'll get a fat fucking paycheck.
Oh, yeah.
Well, maybe not, because I guess he screwed them all
Well,
over.
yeah, that's true.
You might not even get that
I bet during the phone call they're like, you might want to recheck the contract a couple of times.
no
check.
kidding.
Read that fine line down there at the bottom.
No.
One
So
that you
is
got-
ACDC real?
ACDC?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, really? I hadn't heard of that one.
Yes.
It's like the Iron Maidens.
Yeah.
Iron Maiden, yep.
AC/DCs.
I think they're a like an English band.
I almost want to go through and look up all those names just see how clever people get.
Yeah.
ACDC.
Oh, did you watch that Metallica tribute band on like Access TV or something?
Is that the same one that?
Oh, they have a show, don't
Yeah,
they? Have like
yeah.
tribute bands.
Didn't
yeah.
you guys come to the King Eye show with the Metallica tribute band?
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
Isn't that the
right.
same band?
Yes.
Those guys are from Dallas.
Yeah, they're from.
They were on that show. Was that the same band?
I don't know. That's what I was
Damage
asking.
Incorporated.
No,
what
that's
was
not
this
them.
band called?
They were cool guys. I don't remember.
It was another song name, I think.
Oh, it was
Yeah,
one of
it
the
was.
song names. Yeah,
After Sandman's.
No.
it wasn't. It wasn't Ride the Lightning, but it
Oh, man.
was something like that. I don't know.
Escape.
Yeah,
Wasn't it just Kill 'Em All?
that's what it was.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's what it
That's
was.
what it was. It was Kill 'Em All.
And they
Yep.
sounded great, but none of them looked anything.
Nope.
Yeah, I mean, I
The-
think,
the
which
guy-
is fine.
Yeah,
you
whatever.
know.
The singer had the...
He had the arm.
headphones.
Yeah, but then he had like
Stood
this.
like headphones.
Didn't he have like this white shirt on and like I don't know, just. But they sounded good.
But the
Yeah.
thing was here, not to put anyone down, the band was great and the dude was all right. But then when they had the singer from Searching for Sanity get up there and sing with him, he sounded more like Hetfield than
Oh man, I forgot
than the
about
Kill 'Em All
that.
guy did.
Good lord!
I think he sang King Nothing with him.
Yep.
Is that right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Dude, he's an awesome guy, man.
I must have killed some fucking brain cells that night. I don't remember a lot of that.
That band that was on the Access show, World's Greatest Cover Bands, what it was called, and they was the dude. You could tell he was just Hetfield. You know what I mean? He tried to look all like him, and even the guy was trying to be Kirk you tell he had a wig on, but he also had about 150 extra pounds. You know what I mean?
God, yeah.
And the dude was down there on the bass crawling like a Rob, but the drummer looked nothing like Lars. Played a kit, not even nothing like Lars does, in a totally different style than Lars does. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I was actually making a lot of jokes. The guy, his name's Joe Barrows,
Okay.
the singer for Searching for Sanity, because I was telling him because when we first played with him, he has that kind of Hetfield, but sometimes he kind of reminds me of Sully Erna
Yeah.
in some of their stuff. And I made a joke to him. I was like, "Man, you got to get up there and sing with that tribute band." And
look
then he
back.
did.
Yeah.
It was pretty great.
Yeah.
We saw that Guns N' Roses tribute band in Dallas, and they go all out.
Oh, shit.
And
that's
they're-
the ones I like.
They also do. They also have an Aerosmith tribute band. They just kind of switch around the members a little bit.
No, the only thing they switched was
Is
the two guitarists.
Yeah.
The guy that plays Slash and the guy that plays Izzy, like flip roles in Aerosmith.
I mean, Brad and Joe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Slash guy becomes Brad,
The other guy.
and then they switch lead basically.
So,
And then
Yeah.
there's two different singers, but then the drummer and bassist are the same.
And they get the wigs and the clothes, and they do the whole thing. You know.
You got to look up The Road to Rock.
Yeah.
That was my family show in Branson, and they did basically it was a journey through like all of rock, basically all the way from Elvis to they did some Zeppelin tunes, and they did Kiss, and my uncle dressed up like one of the Kiss guys, and you ought to look it up.
That's
It's on
So it's
YouTube.
like YouTube. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
Nice.
That or
Is it
just
still around or it's not?
the show isn't no.
Okay.
But if you look up some YouTube stuff and you like it, just let me know and I'll get you the DVD.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
The Road to Rock. And we went down there and seen, was it Back in Black, the ACDC tribute band?
Mhm.
Down there at Gillies and Cola. And the dude who was playing Angus is like 6'6".
Yes, that's the one.
And I'm like,
They played in Broken Arrow a
Yeah,
couple
bro.
years ago
Oh,
for
it's
some
an outdoor thing?
that Shamrock some St. Patrick's Day thing.
they're great.
And that's the one that they called ACDC had them
they're
come
singing.
in, yeah.
They're singing.
And
Oh, that's right.
yeah, the singer he'll come out and he'll do like Bon Scott with the shirt off and stuff, and then he'll do the Brian Johnson. He'll put the hat on and the tank top and shit. Yeah. He gets he does both of them. It's great.
Yeah, it was a really cool show. I mean, I know every word to it anyways, but I get in those situations, I'm like, man, I hear the drummer miss the beat, you know what I mean? And it's, man, they ain't got no drum fill. ACDC's straight up,
Yeah.
there ain't much shabbiness, it's just one time boom or whatever's in the pocket. And he's, and I'm like,
Yeah, but I mean,
Dude, let me
if
back
you're
you.
if you're a musician,
Correct.
if you're a musician, I mean, no, you know what? You don't even have to be a musician. Anytime you go to see a band you like or somebody play a band you like, you're always overcritical.
Yeah.
Always.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a huge Flaw fan, and I also happen to be a vocalist. So when I went and saw Flaw, now don't get me wrong, Chris Falls, I love that dude. I've listened to him forever. But, you know, who knows how many shows he's played in a row, who knows how long, and he does things a little differently, sings some things a little differently. And I'm just like, man, why? Why? It just bothers me. But
Yeah, but you know, I mean, you can't.
it's because I'm overcritical.
If you're going to be in a tribute band, the difference to me in a tribute and a cover, you play Metallica covers, so that Kill 'Em All is probably like a Metallica cover band.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or like a ACDC tribute band. You got 6 dude wearing an Angus suit, but yeah, he can look like Angus. Everybody don't care about that, you know. But you know, the drummer's back here with like a beard, you know. You ain't allowed to have a beard in ACDC. You know, and so I'm like, and like I said, and they did good. But
I just think
I
you're
would
too
love
militant.
the
AC/DC.
opportunity to do something like that. You know, I've had actually somebody out of Tulsa, you know, reach out to me about doing a Motorhead cover band, and he keeps hitting me up about it. I'm like, man.
Get the blonde wig on and just
Yeah.
Mickey D it all
I
up.
was going to say, what you're going to be, Mickey D? You're going to be,
Filthy
Phil.
Phil?
or who?
Filthy Phil?
Filthy
Yeah.
Phil.
Yeah.
I would, I love Filthy Phil, man, but I also love Mickey D, man.
Mickey D's a
is
fucking
great,
monster, dude.
Yeah. Orgasmatron,
Yeah.
it's all there.
Yeah.
That's like my favorite Motorhead.
Yeah.
I love Orgasmatron.
Yeah, and he's badass in the Scorpions.
Yeah, that was
Yeah, he's doing a great
man.
job with them for sure.
So the drum solo, it's like you can't even walk because the strobes are going so fast.
yeah.
I was down there in the tunnel and it's like making me dizzy, man, because all them lights and stuff is going out with wow. I'm being possessed by Mickey D's drum sound.
That's not bad
And that's not bad
At
at all.
all.
Man. It's great.
at all.
I'll keep going.
I don't say-
You're probably bored, huh?
Huh? Why do you think I'm
No, you was
bored?
telling her.
Oh.
Not everything's
if you
about
do-
you, sir.
I guess
But
not.
if you do keep
Pointed
it, you
at
go
me.
back and edit. He's like, damn, I want to cut out the 2 fucking spots where he's talking about quitting. Come here, edit them out. Damn. The hell, they didn't know when to quit.
Oh shit.
Oh, I'm sure that I've said things.
I've just been sitting here just bullshitting. You know what I mean? Not
Well, that's kind of what we wanted, so
Yeah.
it works.
go about all the different topics. But you know, I still love Poison. Swallow This Live.
Hey, I do too.
I
I just said that because I know he doesn't.
Yeah.
So
It's the
And I don't
worst.
get why.
CC DeVille's guitar solo is the worst thing on that fucking.
Haven't you guys already talked about this a couple of times? Yeah.
We probably have.
The
We probably
reason I
have.
said that is because like a year ago, I threw that in the middle of a conversation in the
Yeah.
podcast, and you're like, "What the fuck?" And then he commented on Facebook and said, "I love that album."
Dude, don't trash that.
No, I heard you guys talking about it not that long ago.
I
I was
probably brought it up.
I was
because-
working and I was listening to you guys' podcast and you were talking about CC blah 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 with this
Yeah,
solo.
there wasn't one not too
Yeah.
long ago.
He brings it up just to piss me off.
It's
Well,
been
there was a thing,
few
yeah, where
months
Nuno
back.
was.
Oh,
defending
yeah,
CC
that's
because
right.
Everybody was rips on
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
Hey, he
that's
was, to me, is one of the underrated guitars there is. You know, I mean,
Are you about to come across the table right now?
Yeah.
uh,
No, I'm good.
I think he is, man, because you know, man, he has some really killer licks, man.
Yeah.
I realize a lot of it's you ain't got to switch guitars 20 times, you know. I realize all that, but as a player, I mean, you think about like Unskinny Bop is a really great guitar line.
Yeah.
You know, even though it's a radio song, but it's.
Well, you know, I
Ride
gotta, you know, clear something up. It's like, I love Poison. I just didn't like that guitar solo.
Oh,
But
Okay.
I just.
So you're not hating on the man as a guitar
No,
player?
I might be jacking off spiders.
That's that
here,
one
but
of
it's just like but I you know,
Yeah.
I really appreciated what Nuno Bettencourt said and came to, you know, back them up because you know he's got songs and that band has, you know, they've got the clout to do that kind of thing. So, you know, I appreciate it for sure. You know,
Extreme 3 is one of the greatest albums ever recorded.
Yeah.
3 sides over short. Yeah, it is. It is awesome.
Even all the way down to the piano stuff at the end.
Yeah.
God,
Warheads, I mean,
Warheads.
God, man. Come on.
Were you at that show at Mohawk?
No.
I know that was a show.
No. The only time I seen Extreme was at Rocklahoma. And I was really stoked about
Where
that.
they fell apart at the end?
Did they fall apart?
Remember that?
Was it
I must
2008 or was it when they...
The one from a couple years ago where they
Yeah,
replaced
it was.
Motorhead?
Yeah.
I missed the first time.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Because there was a couple years there that I only went like a couple days.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
Oh,
I've
so
been
they
to
were
every
on
one of them at least once or twice. But I like...
Well, it was the one Motorhead canceled because Lemmy was sick.
Yes.
So they got Extreme. And so
Yeah.
Black Label Society just played, and then Extreme came up. So everybody's all amped up and beards and muscles. And then Extreme comes up, and they do their just, their thing, and people are just kind of like not into it,
Except for
and
me, I was like...
yeah, and Gary, I loved it. I loved it.
Nuts, and everybody around me was just
Gary Sharon was trying to get people into it, and they were just like, yeah, no. And then the sound just kept fucking up, and it pissed Nuno off, so he just walked off stage
and he
left.
kept like yelling at the sound guy.
Yeah.
And then eventually he threw his guitar in like a roadie tie, I think.
I think I've seen Extreme in the old one. Was that the first one or the second one?
Second one.
Okay.
They played right before Triumph.
Yeah. And it was
The
awesome.
That's
Reunion
that's
was
the
amazing.
day. That was Sunday.
I can't remember.
Yeah, I couldn't remember. You're right, because I wouldn't know.
Sure,
me
sounds
and my
good.
brother,
Yeah.
we used to just get our tickets, and hell, we would just drive up 60, and we lived over in Eufaula, so we'd just drive back and forth every day.
Mhm.
And then, I realized, damn, it's a hell of a lot cooler to camp up there.
Yeah, exactly.
and
Exactly.
So I think I've been camping the last, about like 5 years, 5 or 6.
Mhm.
This might be my 6th year.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
And it's because it's kind of, I can remember seeing you guys before, but there's just so many people. I mean, it seems like, I know you've said on your deal before, but I remember when I heard you on the podcast talking about having the Budweiser box, or the Bud Light hat.
The picture.
It seems like I remember seeing
I
you were there.
I never walked around and wore it. I just put
Okay,
it on my head for a
then there
picture.
maybe was another
And then I threw
dude.
it away.
I was like, I
Yeah.
wonder if that's the same guy, because I couldn't remember faces, but I was like, I wonder if that's the same dude. And I was like right there, and now like bullshit, and then you know what I mean? 'Cause,
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
I really wanted to meet you guys back when you went to that King High show.
yeah.
But I had no, I tried to find out what you guys looked like, and I was like, man, I can't tell.
Uh,
And I think you guys might have jetted. I don't know, but
I don't remember much. Obviously, if I don't, yeah.
not a big deal. I was just saying. I was like, man, I really want to meet those dudes, but wasn't meant to be.
yeah, because I had seen stuff about the podcast, but when you reached out to me, when I was giving all them Devil Your Door CDs away, like, if you want one of these some bitches, I'll mail it to you. You hit me up. I got this podcast, dude. I'll play it on there. Sure. And that's the kind of where me and you started talking a lot
Yeah.
more.
I'll just say, you guys make me feel like a horrible musician. No, all of
When
you.
we talked.
Because we know more?
Not that you know more, it's just all the bands you guys are talking about. I'm like, man, that wouldn't probably be on my list.
It's okay, man. It's
we was
okay.
cruising a rehearsal. It was on a Saturday night one, because we been pulling some Saturday night ones too. And I was like, well, let's do some Anthrax. And I said, I didn't really never get any Anthrax stuff. So, of course, the album I went to was Sound of White Noise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as we
Oh, yeah.
listened to it, he's like, this is Anthrax.
Well, yeah, no, and there's a lot of cases like that, like because I've heard of Anthrax and I've heard Anthrax songs, but I haven't gone through and like listened to everything.
Right.
And there's a lot of cases like that
He's only 24.
with a band that I've been hearing about since I was a kid and just never picked up on, and somebody was showing me something. I'm like, man, I didn't really dig that. So
If you think about the way we go about singers, we went from kindergarten to grade school.
He's like, fuck you.
yeah,
The lady wasn't old enough to get in the bar.
if we're talking about
We got
mentality,
one
we're all on the
that's
same
barely
level.
able to get- He's only been on.
I used to be like that. It's like, oh, he's like 22. Fuck him. What does he know? But then, you meet somebody like Trevor, who's
That
like
dude knows everything.
18 and he knows everything. I'm like, well, I'm a dick. and I'm just going to keep my
Well,
mouth
but
shut.
knows everything about what though? Like that's the other thing.
Well, this guy he's talking about knows everything about everything.
Knows everything.
He knows way more than
I want to talk to this man.
He is a
I mean,
gigantic
when it comes to music,
70s prog guy, and all this. I'm like, okay, well, I just need to keep my mouth shut, you know. Seriously.
I mean, I could talk about hair metal all day long, you know.
Yeah, that's the subject I know the most about.
See, I didn't really get super crazy into music until 90s.
Yeah.
I mean, or late night, all the stuff that came out like 97 to 2000, 2001, like everything in there, and that's when I went nuts.
Yeah.
The first thing I remember was my mom buying my brother some 8-tracks at a yard sale, and I remember staring at the Highway to Hell 8-track. As a little kid, I can't remember. It was 5, 6 probably, but I could plug an 8-track, and I remember putting that in and jamming it out, and Mama didn't want to let me listen to it because, you know, of course, you got Angus the horns and stuff.
Yeah.
Everything's the devil to you, Mama.
But I remember listening. That's like the first deal I remember of like really hard, you know, music. I mean, I can see the image of remember putting that in there. I remember hearing that and wanting to just sit there.
That's another thing.
Stare at it when I couldn't listen to it. Just sit and stare at it.
Yeah.
That's another thing that bands I've been in will laugh at me about whenever like, well, what's the first album you ever bought? Because the first album I ever bought was
97 to 2001.
No, I didn't buy albums then. I mean, you got to think I was born in 92. So
okay, so it would have been
right.
early 2000s.
I was listening till your Linkin
Nickelback,
Parks
Silver
and nope.
Oh, okay.
Nope.
That was my guess.
I listened to them and I listened to Creed and I did listen to them, but that wasn't the first album I bought. The first album I bought was Mudvayne Lost and Found.
That's not bad
for the
at
first one.
all.
Yeah.
No, but everybody else's is like, oh, the first Metallica album,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
Striper, you know, whatever. And I'm like, Mudvayne, you know.
Hey, Stryper is making better albums now.
Than they used to.
Than they used to.
No shit.
Yeah, he's never really cared for him, but I'm like, you got to listen to this new stuff, and then you got to listen to the thing he did with George Lynch, and
Which
it's
is
like
amazing.
this sounds like Stryper should have sounded in 1985. You know?
Yeah.
I didn't like his voice, and now I don't know if he's older or what. It just sounds better. It sounds a little fuller.
Well, they say, and I don't know how old this dude is, but they say that the male voice doesn't mature until they're 35.
Oh, wow.
So that's why a lot of singers, when they kind of hit around that age, their tone changes.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of things about their voice change, and people either love it or they hate it.
What happened to Axl Rose?
He sucked from the beginning. I didn't say that.
Oh!
What?
On that note.
Welcome to the jungle!
No, I had to throw that one at Trent. I couldn't leave him out, picking on him just a little bit.
Yes.
But, but Axl Rose did go through a shitty spell. Mm-hmm. He did, you know. I mean, but of course now he's got it back since he's back out touring. He's doing good in life, trying to be that good rock and roll star that you should have been from the beginning. Mm-hmm. And I think it's gave him the confidence, got his voice back, you know.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, if you go back and look at that, nobody had heard from Guns N' Roses for a while, and then all of a sudden they're on the MTV Music Awards with Buckethead and stuff, you know, and Axl was sounding, sounding like shit, straight up. I'm like, you know, but and of course you listen to anything now is like great, you know, it's really great. I want a new Guns N' Roses album more than I do a new ACDC album.
Yeah.
Hey,
Baby
Shelby,
steps.
who's your
Baby
favorite
steps.
band?
I think it would.
You're on the spot. Who's your favorite band? Ready, go.
Falling in Reverse.
No.
21 Pilots.
Probably Fall Out Boy.
Oh,
Fall Out Boy.
fall out the back door, boy, and get a broke back mountain.
Oh, God.
You knew I was going to do it.
I give them credit for the name because I'm a huge Simpsons fan. But
Okay, all right.
My niece, she was always Fall Out Boy and stuff, and I just always started saying, fall out the back door, boy, and get broke back mountain.
Man. I just remember watching that video. What is that song called? Am I more than you bargained for yet?
Sugar, we're going down.
Sugar, we're going down. I remember, I heard, yeah, see? So you can't mouth too much, okay?
He knew it.
But no, I remember hearing that song for the first time and on the radio. And I was like, man, that dude's voice wears me out. I can't handle this. But I couldn't help but watch a music video. Have you ever seen it?
I don't think so.
I can't remember everything, but it's like this deer and all. I don't know. You need to watch it because I saw it on the daily download, and I was okay. I've got to watch this video.
Can't handle it. I think it just can't handle it.
But then they played Vitamin R by Chevelle right after that, and I was like, yeah,
Chevelle,
that band kind of sucks. Not Chevelle. I'm not saying Chevelle sucks. I love Chevelle. I'm talking about Fall Out Boy. Just to clarify.
Chevelle at, was it Rocklahoma last year? They sounded great, man.
I love Pete
Loeffler,
man.
No,
Last year?
I don't like them.
What?
I don't dislike them. They're like the Deftones. I would rather,
Yeah.
You don't like the Deftones either?
about to fall over because it's like watching paint dry.
man.
Yeah.
It's just boring as hell to me.
We're going to have to
But I don't
disagree,
think
sir.
it's kind of like you said earlier. I don't think it's bad.
Okay, I hear you.
I just thought
you.
they sounded really. I didn't really like them up to "Hats Off to the Bull."
Really?
Face of the Floor, and that kind of made me go back and listen to a little bit of stuff. But seeing them live for the first time, I always just thought they were really good sounding live. But this past year, I guess it might have been just being down there in the tunnel because I love the tunnel.
Yeah.
If you want to find me in the tunnel. And
I didn't take that many ways.
I love the way that sound is down there, man. The bass, it's just right there up underneath that deal.
Yeah.
And it just sounds great to me. And I'm the guy that'll hang back too, right there underneath there. Let them
I saw Chevelle at the Brady in the, what was that? That band that's been on 104.5 a lot.
Nickelback.
No. Silver Side Up was a good album. I'm going to go ahead and say it. Everybody can hate me if you want to.
I like the Steak better.
Okay. All right. I can handle that. What was the name of that band? It's going to drive me nuts. But anyway, they
21
opened...
Pilots.
No, it wasn't 21 Pilots. I don't hate all of 21 Pilots songs either. There's two of them I like. I'm not going to lie to you. But,
We're getting way out there on the music stuff.
Well, now you're finally talking about stuff I know.
Can we talk about like Annihilated or...
Yeah, you can talk about whatever you want.
Hey, the new Overkill is
I've
fucking
heard it. It's badass. Yeah,
It
it's
is
great.
badass.
It's
But my
great.
point was, excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir.
Sorry.
No, I'm just kidding. But my point was that I saw them, Chevelle at the Brady, and they were awesome. They kicked ass. It was right after Logogola or whatever came out, and they
much better
were awesome.
live.
Man, he's just I've always really. But I mean, I guess it's also because I don't play an instrument and sing at the same time. So, and it's not like he's doing anything insane, but still, I've just from the beginning I've always been like, man, that's
Yeah. I don't know, the new Overkill is still playing quite a bit in my deal.
Yeah,
And
it's
actually,
awesome.
I just downloaded the last night. I ain't got a chance to listen to it yet. The new Mastodon.
Oh, yeah.
I saw you guys talking about it. Is it any good?
I don't know. I ain't listened to it.
Oh,
I meant to do it this morning. I ended up listening to it on my mouse.
Did you ever listen to Kill or Be Killed
The old album?
Yeah, that's good.
That's great.
That's good stuff.
with what is his name? Greg Puciato? Is that what his name is?
Yeah,
from
Dillinger.
Dillinger.
And Max Cavalera.
Max Cavalera, Troy from
from
and
Mastodon.
isn't the drummer from Muse? Am I wrong?
From who?
Muse? Is it
Is that what it
Muse?
is?
I thought it was. Well, I have no
I
idea.
thought it was another metal dude.
Maybe I could be wrong,
Wasn't
but
it
I thought I
Igor?
heard that.
No, I don't know.
He
It
was
was
But-
four different
badass,
bands.
dude.
Kill or Be
Yeah, I
Killed,
love
and I love Greg Puciato. That dude, I love his voice. I can't get into Dillinger. It's too chaotic for me. It's
Yeah.
just
Weird
yeah,
stuff, yeah.
but they have songs I like. One of Us Is the Killer. Love that song. But I really like Kill or Be Killed. I think you might dig them.
I tell you, I bought one Dillinger Escape Plan album.
Which
Where
one?
Mike Patton
Mike
Patton sang
Patton.
on it.
Yeah, I love Mike Patton.
I still ain't
Huge
one.
Patton fan. Did you know he
I've
did
never
all the
bought a
zombie
tool.
voices for Left 4 Dead 4?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I Am Legend.
Yeah.
He knows everything about Mike Patton.
I love Mike. You see,
Yeah,
we
he's
can
my
get on.
favorite singer of
We
all
can
time.
get on board with that. I love Mike Patton.
Angel Dust was the best Faith No More album. Another.
The best Faith No More album is every one of them.
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah.
say that's tough, man.
I know
I
what
will
you
say
mean.
that. Oh man,
I just think
I'm a
that
horrible
album
fan.
would be a lot better,
What's the
you
newest
know?
one they put out?
I ain't
Soul
heard,
Invictus.
Soul Invictus.
I
I
ain't
like.
heard that one.
I didn't.
It's the least great of all.
Yeah, that's kind of
It's
where
so
I'm at.
good.
I didn't hate it. It's Mike Patton. Love Mike Patton. I love Mr. Bungle. I love. What's that other one? Doesn't matter.
Tomahawk.
Yeah.
Keeping Tom.
No, Tomahawk. That God Hates a Coward.
Yeah.
Love that song, man. It's weird, but I dig Mike Patton. Have you ever listened to his avant-garde stuff and his Italian pop? And
Yeah.
he's crazy. He's all out there.
I even got a solo where it's just him making noises.
Yeah, that's kind of...
You can't listen to it more than once. It's like something you'd play on your porch on Halloween.
Right.
You know?
You can YouTube it,
Yeah.
and that's what I suggest.
Yeah, I wouldn't pay money.
No, I YouTubed it, and I listened to it, but... Like, all sorts of weird stuff, man. I was like, whoa.
No way. See, I even get a little aggravated, like, when they come out with the Nativity in Black album, it had all them artists, and Faith No More put a live version of War Pigs on there. At the end, he's like,
Yeah.
man.
You gotta know he's going
They
to.
were doing such a cool version of the song.
We're talking about the guy that was in an argument with the Chili Peppers and got on as the Chili Peppers and just made fun of them for their whole set. I mean...
The best was, have you seen the video? You remember who was
The
it?
Wolf Mother.
Wolf, have you
That
seen
was
the YouTube
great.
video of him getting interviewed at a festival and Wolf Mother's playing?
He's getting interviewed at a festival, and Wolf Mother just happens to be playing at some stage way in the background, and he's trying to answer this question. And all of a sudden, he just stops and goes, "Who the fuck is this?" And whatever else he said, you probably remember.
I can't remember. I just remember it was funny. He
it
was
was
like so
fucking
pissed.
I think I have seen it. I think
Yeah,
now
so
that you
great.
say it, I think I have. But I don't know. I'm a big Patton fan. I will watch like the Angel Dust documentary over and over
Oh,
just
I
because
remember,
he's
yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah.
He tells the story about the cat and there's no punchline, no nothing.
Right.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
If
I haven't seen that in a long
If
time.
you don't know what I'm talking about, Mike Patton tells a story about a dead cat that gets left in a restaurant, and it's hilarious. You need to watch it.
Yeah, I love watching them documentaries like that.
Yeah.
Like Bon Jovi Access All Areas is one of my favorite ones
Mm-hmm.
from the past. That was I felt like I was a rock star. It was just by watching.
It sucks you in, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I used to do before Hastings closed down in Muskogee. I used to go there and just go through and pick apart their
Yeah.
I've got
documentary section for the music.
I got a box out there in the building, an old cardboard box, and when you open it up, it's like VHSs.
Hell yeah.
I mean, live
Yeah.
Van Halen, Live Without a Net.
Man, I still have a lot of
Got a
those.
lot of it.
I still have the
Oh,
original Little Mermaid with the penis for the steeple. I still have that.
I don't have that one.
Did you
Yeah.
have the Skid Row VHS with the glasses?
Roadkill?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got that.
With the
too.
glasses.
I still got the glasses.
I will
Got
say,
stuffed in my-
Yep.
when I heard about the penis steeple, I was like, "What?" I was like, "You got to be kidding me! I've had this forever." So I had to go. It was actually my aunt had it, and she had moved into this house next door. I went and dug that thing out and was looking at it. I was like, "You got to be shitting me! That is a penis on top of this castle."
You know, like I've seen like that roadkill
Oh.
so many times. And it's the part where they're running through Brazil, and then they got that one dude that's in everybody's videos got the long tongue, and
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
he's he's in so many different. He's in Bon Jovi's videos, any of them that go to the Rio deals. It's like it cracks me up. And him and Sebastian singing Room Service.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Man, I haven't seen that since I stopped watching VHS. It's probably like 15, whatever it's been,
Well, you
17
did-
years
you
ago,
did.
so I need to pull that up.
you need to bust them out, man.
Yeah.
I still got a
It's probably on
VCR.
YouTube. But yes, I guess I still got a VCR back there. I need to pull it out.
Yeah, I got a couple of VCRs. My old lady works in a community store, so people always donate no VCRs.
Hell yeah.
I got a few good ones. Man, I got the ones I couldn't afford back then.
Yeah.
Just give $1 or $2 for them.
That band Senior Fellows from Tulsa, they put their album out on VHS.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just, it's all just white noise in the video, but the audio's there. So I bought it for him for Christmas.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's just so random and not done, but for $10, it's like, fuck it, that'll never happen again, so I'm buying it.
Yeah.
We'll be back up here next Saturday night up here in Broken Arrow. We're going up here to LaCore and try to lay down a few tracks.
Hank, man.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we're just going. Hank did the first one. It's not mastered,
Man, he ran sound for us so much back in the day. That guy rules.
Yeah, I'll $40 an hour. We're not trying to make a big $5,000 EP.
Yeah,
We just need a couple tracks.
yeah.
Once we're actually, if everything would have kept going as planned, it was going to go record it's this pretty much like a log cabin, way back in the woods by Albion, Telehanna. Way back in there's no internet, there's barely power. And old boy's got a studio set up in there. It's a guy named Corey Ford. He did a Beautiful Ends album. He's played for a band out of McAllister called Cynical Theory. And so now he runs the main stage or the main sound for the second stage of Mayhem. And he does a bunch of festivals and stuff during the summer. So he only has a time window he can record, and it's pretty much winter from November to 1st of March. It's about the only time frame he has to record. And so we was going to go in there and do that, but with everything going on, you know, we decided we don't want to waste our money there, you know. So, and since he's gone, we'll probably go up here and have Hank record us down some tracks and, you know, just old analog school, demoed, you know. I'm too old school, you know. Mm-hmm. It might not sound crystal clear and perfect radio hitting frequencies just right, but I don't give a shit.
There you go.
I like still popping cassettes.
Yeah.
Because I like the sound, you know. But it would be great to have a good crystal clear album, you know. And that's what we'll end up doing probably when we go work with. If we end up waiting, if it ends up taking that much long, get back to November or so, we'll probably go in with Corey then, probably like go to December, January and record. Because the studio is cool because it's like you can just go there and stay. It's got bunkhouses and stuff. And,
oh, nice.
Yeah, you cook there, hang out, you know. It's his own personal studio, you know, and he just kind of uses it for friends and stuff. I mean, he charges, you know, and you know, would do other people, but you know, it's not his main focus. He makes us more money during the summertime doing all the sound for the festivals and stuff.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And I've known the guy forever and really want him to do it. So I really kind of want to save it for him. I don't know if you've listened to Beautiful End's new album, but it's got a pretty good sound to it. Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, this time I go in there and record with Hank. I'm not taking a 26 by 20 kick drum either. You know what I mean? I shouldn't even, because there's things that I wish I'd have done a little different. You know, like I should have just took a different kick drum, a smaller kick drum. That way, and it had a more dominant kick sound. Because, you know, and this time we're just going to go in and just do it song by song. Mm-hmm. You know, not go in there and hit play and record a bunch of songs and be like, well, it needs to be mastered. That fuck it. Here you go. If you like it, let's do it. If you don't. You know? And so this time we want to take, you know, at least do a couple songs, you know, 2 or 3. And, you know, because Chris has got the Dark Side sampler. Mm-hmm. So, you know, he's, you know, I need to get him on the track. He's kind of waiting on me.
Oh, right.
You know, and I'm the hold up on that deal. I was like, man, if you can wait till April 15th when I got 2 studio time booked, man, probably within a day or 2 after that, I can get you, you know, and because I don't want no past W Door stuff, you know.
Yeah.
Everybody just forget it, delete it off your phones. No, I'm joking. It's just, you know, I just want to get rid of it because we're not the same band. Mm-hmm. We're Claim Your Enemy. Mm-hmm. And, you know, the band's original name was to be My Enemy. But that techno dude in England has it, so.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. We couldn't get no Facebook or nothing on it. We Googled it, so I'm like, damn it. So, you know, I kind of think of it as like, you know what I was saying? Keep your friends close, keep your enemies closer.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Claim Your Enemy.
There you go.
I've got to have a story, you know, it's a meaning to me, you know, it's like it has to have it. Like the W Door, you know, it has a meaning. And I want to keep that meaning, you know. Because if it don't, then I can't put my pure heart into it. Mm-hmm. But
what do you think the meaning was behind Korn?
Just listen to their music.
Korn for color.
Does it sound like Korn? Okay.
I actually like Korn.
Well, yeah, I don't mind him. I just...
The first time...
That's the one band that always pops in my head when people talk about names having a meaning. I'm like, is there really a meaning for porn? You know?
There it is because they put a backwards K in it.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
something.
So yeah,
That makes their
K and a backwards R, and this
They're
kind of
hipsters.
bullshit.
Yeah, I never even heard of Korn until I seen them at that euthanasia show.
Mm-hmm.
Right,
And I thought when they started off,
That's how we.
like, this is so badass.
Well, and see,
Yeah, right.
and that might not be my thing now, but I remember going, okay, they don't sound like anybody.
Yeah.
We
It
should all be
like
so
nothing
lucky that
you
we
ever
could do
heard.
something like that.
And that was kind of the big thing for me too,
Mm-hmm.
is just hearing them on, because that's the first place I heard them was on MTV.
Mhm.
I'm pretty sure, and I was like, "What?"
Back then it was like, it's maybe it's a little bit more conservative back then, but a dude, dreadlocks, Adidas
Kilt.
suit, jumping up on there, and this is back when he still wore the full Adidas.
Oh, when he had
Yeah,
the
he's
windsuit
like,
or whatever.
Mhm.
I'm a
Yeah.
faggot. Suck my dick and like it. You know what I mean? I'm like,
You heard the
that's
song
not-
he did
that's
with
not- I'm used to like, I saw red and then I closed the door. That's not, but after more of their song, like Life is Peachy come out, it took me and Follow the Leader, as I kind of was like, they ain't too fucking bad.
I really,
Yeah.
I got
I was really against Korn at first.
that Limp Bizkit album that he and Jonathan Davis did that song together, All in the Family.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I actually, when I first listened, because I do like Limp Bizkit, when I listened to that album, that was like one of those songs I was like, what? And I just skipped it.
Yeah.
But, you're driving somewhere and it's playing, you're not thinking about it. And I actually listened to the words. I was like, this song's hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah, they're all
Exactly.
bagging on each other.
Yeah.
Corny motherfucker.
Yeah.
Well,
Hell yeah. Well, guys, thanks for
Yeah, thanks, man.
coming over and doing this.
yeah,
Thanks for
this
having
is
me.
awesome.
It might be so long it never gets posted.
well,
Uploading 19 hours, 23 minutes.
So this is
Yeah.
our podcast from last
Yeah.
week.
Where are we at? 205. We did, Severmind was 225, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, really?
Sid Falk was 4 hours.
Nice, dude.
Yes, 3 hours
Leave
and
it sit.
45 minutes.
Take a heel. We'll sit talking for a long
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
And he's a great guy, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was a cool one.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, because I even told him later, not to sound like a geek or a fanboy, but I'm like, we just had a guy from Overkill sitting on my dining room table.
Yeah. I was like, holy shit.
Well, that's why I asked
Yeah.
about Gene Simmons, man.
Yeah.
What?
He's great, man.
Yeah, he was sitting here and I was sitting there and I was like, oh my God, if my 14-year-old self was here right now. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
sitting there listening like under the influence.
Yeah.
looking back at the album and stuff, and like never thought.
Yeah. Holy shit. I was jazzed when I found out he even lived in this town.
Yeah, exactly.
He lives in Broken Arrow. I was
Well,
like,
you
what
probably
the
never
hell?
heard of Donald Carpenter, have you?
Uh-uh.
He was the lead singer for Submersed. They were a hard rock band, came out in the early 2000s.
Yeah, I remember that
name.
And then he was the lead singer for I Empire.
Okay.
And I was a huge Submersed fan. Loved Donald Carpenter. And never got to see him. And then he came out, and I finally found I Empire because I'm a huge Seven Dust fan. And Corey Lowry was also in I Empire. So I was like, oh, I'll check them out. And I was like, man, that voice sounds familiar. And it hit me who it was. Well, I got to go see I Empire in Oklahoma City. Then I got to meet DC, and I was just like, oh. And here's Corey Lowry. He was walking off the bus talking about, man, make sure that chick leaves, I was like, what? And he was cool, and DC Coachman was cool, and the drummer for, I don't know if he's the drummer for THC now, but when he was in I Empire, he at least was previously the drummer for THC. I'm pretty sure he is because he's from Oklahoma.
Yeah, the guy that's in there now
Yeah.
is the guy from Oklahoma. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, he was really cool because he was the drummer for I Empire as well.
I'm a huge THC.
And
I love them guys.
whenever we got done watching their set before all the band came out, he didn't go to their bus. He just came out and all my friends were sitting at the table. He came and sat by us and talked to us for a bit. He was quiet, real quiet, but he was cool. So and I got to shake John Witherspoon's hand one time through a fence. I was at Rockfest and I felt like an idiot because I had burnt orange hair because it was a mess up. I was gonna dye it black and I bleached it and then it didn't work, so I had burnt orange hair and I'm running up, LeJean! He turns around and shakes my hand, about tore me through the fence. And
I was staring at this God Forbid thing out there when God Forbid played Muskogee.
Yeah, they played the Muskogee. I remember that. I was like, wow, there's a
Constitution and
Muskogee.
Treason
Sid, what the
tour.
hell? Yeah, that's crazy.
My buddy's back there playing a band called Disjointed. And
Oh,
Disjointed
yeah.
was playing this standing there, and this big old boy in front of me. I recognized him. I don't know his name, but it's kind of, hey man, you know, of course, music loud, turn around, and big old dude stuck my hand out, shook his hand. It was like, his hands were like, you know, you figure this big old dude.
It's like a wet noodle.
Just like, just nice, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it doesn't.
Yeah.
That's almost like, you know?
Yes.
Yeah, it was like,
Yeah, but you weren't going to mouth him for it, were you?
like,
No, sir.
I don't know. I mean, I looked up at him.
Yeah. You have a very firm handshake.
Yes.
You know, it's like meeting old Big Dad Rich down there a couple of weeks ago. He's like, come on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's such a great guy.
Man, that happened when I went to that Seven Dust show at Rockfest. You know, it was 40,000 people. And I had gone to... Empire played that, too. And so Empire was on the smaller stage, and All That Remains and Hailstorm and Seven Dust were on the bigger stage. So I had gone over to see Empire and Heaven's Basement and In This Moment. And so I was trying to get over there for the Seven Dust set, and there's 40,000 people. So I'm all the way at the back. And I just happened to say, I was like, man, you know, because I'm a huge Seven Dust fan. And this big old huge guy just turns around and goes, hey, you want to go to the front? And I was like, yeah. Grab my belt. And he turns around, and I grab this dude's belt, man, and he's boom, starts pushing people out of the way, and the next thing I know, I'm up against
That's awesome.
the barricade. Well, you know, they started face to face. You know, can't stop fucking with my head. So, you know, you've heard that song.
Yeah.
Well, as soon as it comes in, the whole crowd, like a sea of people, just starts going up, and I'm stuck between this big, huge guy and the smaller person, and my feet are off the ground, and I'm just like this through the whole time. My feet never touch the ground, but I'm bouncing in the air, just, yeah! It was awesome. It was a great show. They killed everybody. And I'm not against All That Remains, and I saw Kill Switch, but it was with Jesse Leach. I love Howard. It's tough for me. Nothing against Jesse.
Yeah.
I just love Howard, and Device still killed everybody, though, with 3 people. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
I thought Seven Dust is going to be the best show I saw today. And David Draymond did his thing and got out there with 3 people and made every other band that played that day look like chumps. It was ridiculous. Because Lizzie Hale came up and sang If I Close My Eyes Forever with him.
Yeah.
Because they were both there, and it was awesome.
Yeah.
Before we do get off here, I got a gift at Rocklahoma. But to get this gift, you got to show up at that Dark Side deal at 2 p.m.
Oh, a gift to give people?
No, to give you.
Oh,
and
okay.
you.
Okay.
But you both got to share it.
Hey,
Listen, something weird.
I'll be there.
It's
He
not-
doesn't want to go. I tried to get him to go last year. He's like, that's too far to walk.
Man,
yeah,
you
bitch,
got
I'm going to
graphics.
say
I'm
it.
just saying this is a really, really, really cool gift. An honorable gift.
all right, guys, look, you got you a blow-up doll, all right? So just...
It's a double hole one.
Yeah. So you gotta share it like sit in.
But no, I mean seriously, this is I don't want to tell you because it's more about meaning because it means a lot to me.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So
Hell yeah. We will be there.
sweet.
We will be there.
Because
He's
we
giving us
got to
like
do the
a-
moment of silence for Ben and Cody. We got to set.
Just like
Yeah.
a Phil Rudd signed.
Oh
drum
no!
head or
If we get that, we're like,
He's
ain't
keeping
getting rid of
it. Keeping
something.
it.
Well, you said it meant a lot to you, so I thought.
It means a lot to him, but not quite that much.
There
Yeah.
you go.
I mean, I love you guys, but you I really love Phil Rudd.
Would you give it to him? Come on.
Nice.
But
We
thanks
will
for
be
letting
there.
us come.
Yeah,
Oh,
thank
yeah,
you very
no
much,
problem.
man.
No
Had a
problem.
great time, man.
This is awesome.
I don't want to think anybody will listen to it, but then again, they might be like, just listen to see what comes up next.
Yeah.
I'm sure I said things that, somebody will text me later and
People will listen.
Yeah,
give me grief about, but whatever.
yeah. Bring it on.
It's me. They shouldn't be surprised.
His number is BR549.
Well, there you go. Travis and Devin from Claim Your Enemy. They're going to be at Rocklahoma on the Dark Side stage Friday at 2 p.m. That's May 26th. Get out there and check them out. It's the final show they're putting on under the name The Devil You Adore. And then they fully turn into Claim Your Enemy.
That's right. Thanks to those guys for coming and hanging out with us. We talked about a lot of stuff. It was cool to get kind of the inside skinny on what was going on with their transition.
Right.
And who'd have thought we'd ever talk about Ed Bruce on the Thunder Underground podcast?
Right.
Well, we fucking did. So, another goal reached.
Yeah, Ed Bruce, Ritchie Kotzen, Extreme, Dillinger Escape Plan, Life of Agony, Five Finger Death Punch, Motley Crue, all in the same episode.
You got the list.
Yeah, among many other. I had to have the list already because
True.
of, tagging things once we post this.
That's right.
Those are just a few of the things that came up, and kind of wide-ranging topics with these two guys. And hey, what else did we learn? That we could take credit for planting the seed in Travis's head with Devin's vocals.
There you go.
Because he mentioned that first time he ever heard him was on our podcast.
See?
With King High.
Look at that.
So,
There
you go, guys.
We're here to help, people. We're here to help.
Thunder Underground is the reason that Devin LaCore is in Claim Your Enemy.
Wow.
Jason told me to say that.
Oh, Jesus. Anyways.
Well, if you're still listening, we appreciate it. This was a long one.
You know what? You are, by the way, you are a tagging fucking master. You are a tagging, you are like the Tasmanian devil of tagging.
Hey, it has to be done.
I know.
Especially with the bands and the people involved with the bands to get the word out.
That's right.
And then once you get it up, hey, you got to let people know who like these bands to listen.
I know. Well, hey, I love it. I'm just saying.
Well, thanks, I guess.
You got it down to an art.
We appreciate you listening. TheThunderUnderground.com is the website. Facebook, YouTube is both, and Instagram is all The Thunder Underground, all one word. We're on Twitter at THNDRUNDRground. Our email is thethunderunderground@gmail.com. If you got a band, send some music. Or send an album for us to review.
Send some vinyl.
Yeah. Hey, yeah, that'd be cool.
That'd be really cool.
Ask for our address, send us vinyl.
That
works. There you go.
Exactly.
Yeah, we'll review your vinyl and how it sounds on vinyl. How about that? At YouTube, subscribe there. We've got all the podcasts up on there, but we've also got reviews of albums, concerts, and then we've got a show called Every Album in a Row, where we listen to an artist's entire catalog in chronological order, every single song, and then just talk about how it flows.
Yeah, we've done Metallica, Guns N' Roses, Motley Crue. Or is that one even up yet?
That's coming soon.
Jeez, I can't keep this shit straight. I just stopped listening to Kiss. I got to pick it back up.
Because it'll be a while, yeah.
Yeah, and it's just so much, you have to take a break. 10 pounds of shit in a 5-pound bag.
Nice. That's not what I meant.
Sorry. It works, though.
10 pounds of shit in a 5-pound... Yeah, that's it. That's what I meant. Back Kiss right in there. That's.
Sorry, I'm getting off tangent there.
No, that's fine. But yeah, like you mentioned, we got Kiss coming. We did Pantera, Megadeth,
yeah.
Guns N' Roses, Van Halen, I think you said.
That's right.
All that's up there. Check that out if you're a fan of any of those. Hit subscribe on there. You'll get alerted when it comes out. All the podcasts are at soundcloud.com/Thunder-Underground. Guys from bands like Seven Dust.
That's right. That's
just happened.
Yes.
That was a good one with John Connolly. Gene Simmons of Kiss.
You have any Michael Jackson jokes?
No. Go for it.
Why did Michael love 47-year-olds? There were 40 of them.
There you go.
I mean, that's really all we need to say right there. You can just stop.
Those two bands. Chris Broderick of Megadeth and Sid Falk of Overkill. Fuck the rest. Except for Claim Your Enemy and Reliance Code. And everybody else we love. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, you kind of...
I just pigeonholed Sigler out of everywhere. I just shut off Tulsa now.
Kind of dug a hole with that fuck the rest thing, didn't you, Trent?
I'm going to cut that out.
Send all... No, you're not. Send all hate mail to Trent. I had nothing to do with it.
All right, well... We've also had on guys from Avatar and Drowning Pool and Bullet Boys. There's a good trio for you.
I like that. I like it.
All right, well, coming up here in the next week, we'll have on the entire band Alter Blood.
Yes.
Great new band here in Tulsa. And we'll have on Scott Bartlett, the guitarist and founding member of Saving Abel.
Yes, sir.
So be on the lookout for that. He was a cool guy to sit down with, just like Alter Blood was. And that's basically it for this episode, I think.
All right, we're out.
All right, until next time.
Oh, I should have known that we were going to do that. 2-part harmony, what?
Yeah.
We're actually going to start incorporating that more. We wasn't really pitch matching them, but we've been working together, just in vehicles or whatever, and just doing a lot of pitch match and, trying to incorporate that back into it. I really didn't want to back up sing no more, but...
I have yet to find a band that will do it.
Mm-hmm.
I love harmonies. Harmonies in a live show just make it that much better if they're done correctly.
Yeah.
And
It's
I've
just hard.
never found a band that will really do it. Not really. They say they'll do it, and they practice it, and then you get to play the show, and it's like they just pitch matched. If they said anything at all, you know. And King Hyde, there was some. You know, I've got to give Evan props for that because he's got a good voice, and he did some. But man, I've always wanted.
I just stole my voice from Exodus.
There you go.
I stole everything from Exodus.
Man,
Look at my guitar player's guitar. We stole it from Exodus.
I call
We need to give
my
them
voice
guys
as a
shout
mutt.
out. Jade, Bryce, and Redford. You know, I wish them guys could be here, but they ain't that lucky today.
Missed out.
They just ain't in Tulsa.
Thunder Underground, y'all.